Victory. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Las Vegas Raiders scored their first ever win at Gillette Stadium yesterday, 20-13 over the Patriots in the regular season opener for both teams. Geno Smith threw for 362 yards for the winners, and rookie Ashton Genty added a TD run. Drake made 30 of 46 for 287 yards, a touchdown to Demario Douglas, and an interception in the loss. And Kayshon Boutte caught 6 passes for 103 yards.
I wouldn't say it was disappointing, I just look at it like we can be better. Maybe we go back, watch film tomorrow. It's a couple plays that we left out on the field and can be better. But after we watch the film tomorrow, we go to Tuesday, put this game behind us, and just focus on next week.
Harold Landry led the Patriots defense with 2.5 sacks. Their next game is on the road against Miami on Sunday. The Dolphins were humiliated in Indianapolis yesterday, 33-8. Buffalo played the game of the NFL's opening weekend. They came back from down 15 points in the final 4 minutes to beat Baltimore 41-40 last night. And the Jets allowed 4 Aaron Rodgers touchdown passes in a 34-32 home loss to Pittsburgh. And the Red Sox avoided being swept yesterday, carried a 7-4 win in Arizona. Sox got 3 in the top of the ninth to snap a 4-4 tie. Nick Sogard's pinch hit 2-run double was the big hit. Sox are a game and a half behind the Yankees for the top wild card and 3.5 games out of first place in the division. Garrett Crochet starts in Sacramento tonight against the Athletics. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Start your day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Work through your day.
What's that thing we do at the end of the show?
And end your day.
I'm not giving you an opinion. I don't know.
Right here, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher.
They love the show. In fact, they said, Fred, you're the best.
And Hardy.
Who's Taylor the originator?
On 98.5. No!
Hello. Hey there.
Aloha.
Bonjour.
How we doing?
What? I'm an animal.
Can we use this for the radio? No, Nick, with your drinking at noon on Mondays.
Well, I tell her the truth, I miss Booty.
That problem is too large for the starch.
You know how I feel about clowns on morning shows?
And I'm just saying, hello.
Toucher and Hardy.
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back
25 glasses of soda.
having some fun.
On 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Runs around with painted fingernails. Alphabet Mafia era that we live in. LGBTQIA plus. Silent P.
Oh, okay. I got emails about what Silent P means. Anyone care to guess? It's bad. It's not. It's something you can say in the air. It's just it's Silent P because it's not. It's attacking like something that's inarguably bad. Would anyone care to be? It's a sexual thing. It's inarguably bad. You're free to attack these group of people with these proclivities. Trust me.
Oh, I get it.
It was pedophile. So the Epstein Island that no one will release the documents to. In fairness, neither party, but the party in charge won't release the Epstein files. So, again, I understand what he's doing, but you are in power. You can't just keep going to the well from the last 4 years. Like, the Epstein power is in the hands of the people that you wanted in power. So, no more. The ball's in your court. Everything you rallied for, and what's gonna, and I know that he's on Outkick, and Outkick just got a deal with Fox Sports. They're gonna be part of the network, which is thriving as always. They get rid of a talent like Carl. What's it from WFAN? Carton, who's very talented. And has a history of success, and they get rid of him, and then they go to talent that other people have developed. And but I don't know the wisdom in that, because the way that gained ground was that you were pushing back against the ruling. You're speaking in their mind truth against power, and then now you are in power. So I don't know what do you want the LGBTQ community to do about it? 4 years ago, I understand, but now I don't know. It's all in your court. Everything that you want to happen can happen. You're in heaven. Everyone is doing what you want. No more silent P. Make it unsilent. Doesn't have to be silent anymore. It's not Pelosi and everyone else's responsibility. It's your responsibility now. It's your guy. So it was Biden's fault, no doubt about it.
Yes.
They had the files.
Haven't you been paying attention? Yes.
No. But Biden could have released the files. That's a fact. The Justice Department could have released those files. No question about it. 4 years, he didn't do it. That's true. You ran on that. Now you're in power. Now you can release the files. You're not doing it. So the silent P is your fault. I don't like pedophilia any more than anyone else. I'll go on a limb and say don't care for it at all. But that's your problem now. Anyway, it was the beginning of the NFL season. Did anyone watch any of the game on Friday night?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I did not. I had no desire to watch that game, and I could have. I was resting up. I traveled on Saturday. I was resting up.
Resting up for what? Were you doing a long bike ride for your travel?
Yeah, big bike ride. Yeah, I was doing a big bike ride.
You doing a hike?
Well, I know the Pan Mass Challenge was just months ago, so I decided to do it, but I didn't want to do it for charity. I just wanted to do it. I
didn't show everyone what a badass you are.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it, collect any money.
You're like one of those people who show up at the marathon and just run.
But I would do the marathon because I would do it not for charity. No, I'm of course kidding. No, I had to get up early and there was stuff I could have done. Suffice it to say, I was around enough to watch at least part of that game. I was not interested in it. Sunday is when I get interested.
I don't
unfortunately.
know. I don't know why I would think it's any different anymore because it's really not. But I was surprised and impressed with the picture quality on YouTube, and maybe it just it has more to do with your bandwidth and how your internet is cooking that night. But I've noticed on like the Amazon games, those were kind of dark and the audio was a bit off. YouTube looked and sounded great for whatever that's worth.
Well, I've been watching football on YouTube forever long as you had to on Sundays, and it glitches. It glitches once a game, and it's not long, and it's not something that, in my experience, is like stop the game. It's just you lose a picture for like a second. I've never had a problem with YouTube, and it's how I consume football almost every Sunday. I don't have a problem switching back and forth either because you just do it through the input on your TV. So it's just like switching channels. You just pick up a different remote and just go to the input. So you have the Patriots game on the regular TV, traditional broadcast. And then you have, I guess, though, that's why you have cable. So you can just switch back and forth between the input.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you go YouTube TV, which has every game, and then the networks, which have one or two games, obviously, on Sunday afternoon, which is when football officially starts. And it was a good week. It was a good week for entertaining games. Again, not in New England. No, not an entertaining game in New England. That is
college or pro.
Oh, the college game was great.
BC?
Yeah, that was a great game.
Oh, no. I was talking more about UMass.
Oh. Yeah,
everyone was locked in.
BC game against Michigan State, really good.
Was really
good.
Yeah, that was a very good game. Neither of those teams particularly good. But,
no kidding.
Yeah. Notre Dame better start winning, or those tickets I have for BC Notre Dame aren't going to be worth much. Notre Dame had the week off, but they're 0-1, and BC's 1-1.
How disappointed were you that North Carolina won?
Oh, against Charlotte?
I was very disappointed.
I mean, I thought they were going to win, so it's not like it was an upset or anything, but
I was mildly disappointed because I saw the score, and they obviously, what did they win, 20-3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hooray.
Charlotte's terrible.
Well, yeah, good for you.
But the game was Terrible.
Yeah. So, I would have been really happy if they lost.
Yeah.
But of course, I would have been really happy if they lost. But no, 20-3 over Charlotte after you get killed on national television in arguably your biggest home game of all time. I would question how great a victory that is, and that's not hating. You beat Charlotte by 17. Was that at home? That had to have been at home, right? Or did they travel to Charlotte?
I think they went to Charlotte.
No.
I gotta,
Well, it's a long trip.
yes,
for them.
they were at Charlotte.
Okay, so they had to travel across the state.
Home against Richmond this Saturday afternoon.
What was the team that Bert said was better? He said
Charlotte. He said to us he thought Charlotte was good, and then I looked it up, and they had lost to Appalachian State the week before, 34-11.
Yeah,
Bert
so they
said,
were not.
I stand corrected. Charlotte's not good.
No, they're not, and they won by 17. So congratulations. What a effective program.
They play the Richmond Spiders this weekend. Richmond 1-1 after a loss at Lehigh 21-14 and a win at Wofford 14-10.
Well, Wofford can be tough.
Yeah.
So they'll be 2-1, and everyone can get very excited, and then they'll have to play real teams again, and it will all go crazy. Did you guys see that the TCU players, 2 guys after the game, recreated the fishing photo?
Yes.
No, I didn't see that.
That was so good.
Yeah, two big guys. So I'm guessing they're
great.
linemen. Recreated the fishing photo in the end zone, which is really humiliating because I don't know how like college kids what they're consuming and like how aware they are of things. You know, who knew? In our worlds, in my world, it was like the biggest thing in the world. Bigger than anything my children were doing. It was the biggest thing in the world. But I didn't know if it like resonated with college kids because, I mean, my kids didn't obviously care about the Belichick photo. But it did. And it's good to know.
College kids, both on that North Carolina team and their opponents, are kind of forced to deal with it whether they want to or not. I mean, the backup quarterback is the same age as his head coach's girlfriend. I mean, it's just you're kind of forced to deal with it.
I just didn't know if they knew about things like the photo. Like, I didn't know if they knew that Belichick had done a photo on the beach. You know, I don't know if it was on the media they consume, right? And so, but it was just nice to know it was because they did the fake photo of it, so or the recreation of it, which was very nice to see. It's nice to see that teams are mocking him.
Yes.
Like him specifically.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, like that he's a joke in college locker rooms across the country. That it's not just, people that were aware of him when he was coaching for the Patriots and having success. It's people that he's playing against are talking before games about what a fool he is. That is good to me.
That's delightful.
Yeah, and so that photo would make up against any win. But again, congratulations, you beat Charlotte. Week 2 of college football is interesting because for most good teams, it's the week where they get the cash grab from the smaller school and win 60-0. Fred, no one won 60-0. I think someone did win 60-0. Texas.
Oh, there was a 70-0 score.
Yeah, right. So there was a lot of very lopsided games in the. Not a great week for college football, unless I suppose, Hardy, you as a big Michigan State alumni, were thrilled by the double overtime BC win. And I'm telling you, I told you before we're going to talk a lot about the Patriots, just real quick. I told you, I ran down the schedule. I don't know if it was you or Wallach. I ran down the schedule. I said, they're going to be 5-0, Michigan State. People crapping on them, but they'll be 5-0. Then they'll lose in the Big Ten. They'll lose a bunch of games. But other than that, in the Michigan loss, because they played a real team.
Yes.
I'm not aware if there was too many other real games. There was Iowa State, but that's any Iowa game's boring.
No, you play your tough opponent like Ohio State, Texas week 1, and then both teams played cupcakes this week. I think Texas played San Jose State.
Tomato can.
Tomato can.
Tomato can.
Yeah.
Next week, not great. Either,
Ohio State beat Grambling 70-0.
Yeah.
And then there was another blowout. Florida State over East Texas A&M 77.
Not Texas A&M.
77-3.
Michigan started with New Mexico. They lost to Oklahoma. They get Central Michigan this weekend.
Oh, Alabama beat.
That's the game I was thinking of.
UL Monroe, University of Louisiana Monroe, 73-0.
Yes, that was the game I was thinking of. Yeah, they said we lost to Florida State. Now it's time to turn this around. We're going to run this up a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah. So and by the way, not a great slate on Saturday either. You do have one game really. You have no. I mean, unless you are a big believer in South Florida going to Miami, then you have two ranked teams playing there. So the college football season not off to a great week one, then a little bit of a lag.
Oh man, you're right. Look at that. Ugh.
Yeah, it's not good. Texas A&M at Notre Dame, which you got to go Notre Dame there because you need those tickets to be worth something. Come on, Notre Dame, get with it. Start getting with it. Start doing your thing. All right. So the Patriots, we're going to do it all show basically. Of course, we have Mike Reese, Bob Sosi. We have a bunch of thoughts of the game on the game. We can get into the specifics of the game, but as I went out after the game because that Lions game was, I wasn't gonna after the Jet game. I was not staying home to watch the Lions lose, so I went out to do things. And people do come up to me in the public, and especially during the football season, they're like, "What'd you think of the Patriots game?" And I said, and this isn't a victory lap. It's just they're not good. Like it's I don't know why everyone thought they were going to be good. It's week one. That's fine. They're not good.
Your reaction to this game depends solely on how you felt about the team going in.
Right.
If you thought this was a 9 or 10 win team, you tend to be more angry this morning. If you were more realistic and thought 6 or 7 wins, you go, okay, this was good, this wasn't good, but there's a lot of room for improvement.
Okay, and I also, the nitpicking on like the Vrabel moves prove how this team isn't any good. Down 10 that they punted with like very little time left.
They had 4th and 10 after the penalty. And they were down 10
No, it was more than 4. It was more than 4th and 10.
It was 4th and 5, and Campbell committed the false start.
Then it was 4th and 10. I have the sheet. It was, but that's the big sticking point, and it's not. And if that's the big coaching blunder in quotations that cost them the game, then you are not good, because that's hardly some decision that ended up biting you in the ass. It's not like that's why you lost the game. It's an unconventional decision based on his thoughts on the offense not being able to move the ball.
You can question it, but that wasn't the tiebreaker. That wasn't.
Of course, you can question it, but if that's the thing you're questioning about the game, that game was already pretty much over at that point. You weren't going to score 10 points with that much time left. It just wasn't going to happen.
I was telling my son, as soon as they kicked the field goal to go up 10, I'm like, that's it, game's over. He's like, wait, there's a lot of time left. I said, there's no way this offense is scoring twice.
Just like when the Jets,
not a chance.
The Jets fumbled the kickoff return, and I said, that's the game.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know a 60-yard field goal would be required for that to happen, but it did.
That was unfortunate.
They did everything they could have done. They pushed them back.
No, but
Steelers got the ball. They pushed him back. out of field goal range.
So
made the field goal.
Yes.
John is absolutely right, though. It's all predicated on what you thought, what your level of fandom is, all that going into the season. I was with Perillo on Saturday morning, and same guy up at the Meadow at Peabody, the assistant pro up there. He's same thing to Paul, same thing to me. He's like, Hardy, 8? What? I said, oh no, I think 7. And he said the same thing to Paul. Like, Paul, 8 wins? And I didn't have time to do like the whole conversation with him, but I said, hey man, 7 wins in Hardy math is more than twice the number of wins they had last year, because I don't count the last win of the season.
Right.
You got to be you got to settle in for this, unless you're expecting, some kind of like Jaden Daniels performance out of Drake May this year and some kind of Commanders like resurgence from this team, which I'm not. Okay, whatever. You're gonna lose some games that you may have had circled as wins or possible wins. Yeah, and you'll win some other. As in every season, there'll be at least one win against a team that you have no business beating.
Yeah, and
there'll be that. And I think if you get to 7, you should be happy with that. And there's no reason to believe they can't do that. But that start yesterday, I didn't come away from it thinking, oh boy, now it's all over. No, that's I think what it's going to look like. A lot of it is going to look like that for the near future.
Well, I'll tell you, I put money a month ago on the money line for Vegas, and then the spread was 3.5, and just as the month went on, I just kept adding more and more money.
Oh, like a 401k.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't do it all at once.
Right.
You hit the market at different times.
That's one of the most. Well, no, I only took the points once, and then I just kept going. You know what? The more I heard people talk about the Patriots, and the more I went, what? Huh? I just started pounding the under on wins, pounding that Raiders money line. I mean, Jesus Christ! I have no idea why everyone was so confident they were going to win that game. You were now. At the end of the week, people started kind of coming to their senses and realizing that there was a fairly substantial high-end talent differential on those teams, and also your coach is not a better coach than the coach that was across from him. So I don't understand really where all this confidence came from, but nonetheless, it worked out kind of like how you had to expect it would work out. Anyway, if you were paying any attention, but look, they're at a very bad team to next week, and they should be 1-1. If they lose that game, if they lose to the Dolphins, that's a problem. That's a big problem. That's a game they should win. That's a game that that's a game that if you're going to improve as a team, you really need to win, because you're not beating the Steelers, and you could beat the Panthers. You could be 2-2, which is great, but you 1-3 against that schedule. That's no good.
But they're not so good in Miami either, friend. And
Miami's real bad.
I don't believe in institutional things, but there is something about the Patriots playing in Miami. It's something about the laundry. I don't know. I don't know why, but it's a thing.
Miami's actually favored, according to what I'm looking at here.
Well, I would
2.5 points. Oh, God. Well, I'm looking at it.
Well, that's weird enough for me not to bet on it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
For Toucher and Artie, what happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. All right, so the Patriots opened the season yesterday. Hardy, take us through.
All right. Las Vegas Raiders in town, and Raiders get the ball to start the game. How many plays would it take for them to march downfield on their scripted opening drive?
Smith with time, loads up, throws it down the middle, wide open. Tucker, touchdown, Las Vegas.
Hawkins. What a throw by Gino. That wasn't even in the same zip code. Hawkins got smoked.
Yes, he did 6 plays, 2 minutes, 43 seconds for the Raiders to find the end zone. Safety Jalen Hawkins slipped a little, fell down, and the Tucker ended up being wide open in the end zone for Geno Smith.
Not a lot of fun. I have to be honest with you. The Patriots were getting absolutely zero pressure by rushing just 4 guys. Remember, we were talking about the lack of pass rushers and the lack of a game wrecker? That was the case, especially during that drive. Geno had a lot of time.
Yes. Pats would go 3 and out.
Time all game.
When they didn't blitz, yes.
Yeah.
Pats would go 3 and out on their first possession. So Raiders driving again. Remember Jalen Hawkins, the guy who got beat so bad on that first Raiders touchdown?
I do.
You remember that guy?
Smith under center. Nope. Fake boot to Genti. Bootlegs into the pocket. Has time. Throws it left. Passes tipped in the air. Deflected by Davis. Picked off by Hawkins along the far side of the 17-yard line.
That's where Gino kills you. He stared it down. It's a 2-man route. Nothing in the flood. Nothing in the flat. It's a 2-man route. And an under defender and over defender. It's tipped and picked.
So, redemption there for Jalen Hawkins as he gets the interception. And so the Patriots show a little life, start driving the ball. Drake May starts completing some passes. A couple to Keyshawn Boutte, who gets banged up. So instead, he goes to his tight ends. He finds Hunter Henry. He also found Demario Douglas.
May in the gun, left foot forward, takes the snap, drops back, looking left, throws it to the near side, diving catch, Douglas, touchdown, Patriots.
All right. So I talked about the other night with the quarterback. What are you looking forward to? More than 7 snaps. Get a little bit of a rhythm.
Yeah. Demario Douglas, that was a nice catch for a touchdown, good route, whatever. Have you seen the stats for Douglas at the end of the game?
Not great.
Yeah.
2 catches, minus 2 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, it's tough to do.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do, I'd say. Considering that, by definition, was for positive yardage.
Yeah, you would imagine the touchdown you'd have to
get at least
get
1
a half
yard.
Yeah.
two catches on 7 targets with the touchdown, minus 2 yards.
Yeah. I dare to say that's probably not been done before.
I'm surprised he didn't manage to find Austin Hooper for more than 1 catch. He only targeted him once,
well,
and it was on that drive.
Because Henry left the field, if you remember correctly. He got hurt. He had to leave for a couple of plays.
Well,
he's going to be a big fan of Hunter Henry this year. That's going to, at least the first half of the season, Hunter Henry's going to get a lot.
Who else are you going to go to?
Boutte would be the guy. Keyshawn Boutte had a good game.
Boutte had a good game yesterday, no question. A lot of single coverage. He took advantage.
Diggs largely absent. Just it's just not a lot of looks his way. There's a comfort level that obviously isn't there yet, and he's just not ready for that many reps.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone else saw this, but Diggs was only in on first down for a large portion of time.
Not that
and then
many
they took
reps.
him off the field until the second half.
Pats would miss a 40-yard field goal in the first half, but make from 39 to take a 10-7 lead into the half. And things didn't go so well after that.
May back to pass, steps up, he throws, and that pass hanging in the air is intercepted down the right seam. Paloma with the pick as May tried to hit Diggs, it appeared, running up the right seam, but couldn't really step into the throw as he was hit in the chest, and the Raiders have their first takeaway.
Zoe could call it in the air. Oh, no. Listen.
May back to pass, steps up, he throws, and that pass hanging in the air.
Oh, no.
You know what the Raiders did after sitting back and watching Drake May pick them apart in the first half? They decided to blitz a little bit. And wouldn't you know it, Drake May didn't handle it well. especially on that pass. Didn't handle the blitz well at all. And the offensive line struggled and things went downhill. But the lack of ability by Drake May to handle the blitz without being flustered in the second half yesterday was eye-opening.
I heard in the post game Greg Bedard talking about it. He was talking about how mechanically off he was.
Yeah.
So that's a little something.
He got rattled. It was
no, it's not just rattled. That his mechanics, just as a rule, are bad. I mean, he floated passes. Like, Drake May wasn't just being confused by the defense or, under duress. He was also just floating passes. I mean, he was inaccurate yesterday, as a rule. I mean, you can look at the box score and go, all right, it's okay. But he missed wide open receivers on more than a couple of occasions.
Consistently high, yes.
Yeah, so this is last season. This is one of the things that we would talk about when we watched Drake May. It's like, oh, he's just a little juiced up. He just got a little too much on that one. Now, those same passes look like a guy who just isn't all that accurate yet. This isn't him being too amped. This isn't him being juiced. This is him throwing high balls.
And it's also because the expectations for him are far different now, as we have discussed, is that last year it was, wow, he's a really good athlete. He can do these incredible athletic feats. He can, roll out, throw off his back foot, 40 yards downfield. And that was enough. But people got sick of hearing it, but it's the way that it is that now so much more is expected of him. You have to hit open receivers. You can't turn the ball over. These are the things that you have to be able to do. And he missed wide open receivers. That's not being confused or getting hurried. Like, you just
missing guys.
You can't miss guys in the NFL. And there's, to be fair, not many guys that will miss that many open receivers. If you look around week one, there's not a bunch of dudes sailing balls all the time over wide open receivers' heads.
And real quick, John, just not just missing receivers, Fred, but missing guys who are open and taking lesser options and missing those guys too.
Well, that's what I said.
Okay,
they're missing wide open receivers. Yes.
Yeah. The other part of it is, now that we're talking about this, I'm not sure what it was. excuse me, in the second half. Obviously, May was rattled. The blitz had him rattled. He didn't perform well under pressure.
He also admits to being too amped up at the beginning of the games, which I'll give him, and it's good that he admitted it. So you do have that. Go ahead.
He missed a lot of receivers, open receivers high, especially in that first quarter. But in the third quarter, when Pete Carroll decided to blitz him, it clearly affected him early. And I don't know if that was a carryover because he was missing receivers when he wasn't blitzed at times. Was that still his mechanics, or was he rattled because of what had happened to him previously? Now I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure which it is.
Well, yeah, that's for people far above our pay grade that, analyze quarterback mechanics.
But it was clear, especially in the second half, where he had a very good second quarter. In the second half, he was off, and now I'm thinking, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure which specific thing it was.
But he is a kid, and, again, this season he's just got to get better as the season goes on. He wasn't going to be Jaden Daniels this year. He wasn't. First of all, he's zero talent around him, but he's not going to be Jaden Daniels this year. You need to improve. He needs to get over his excitement at the beginning of games. He needs to be far more accurate. He needs to be able to handle pressure.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things that he needs to learn how to do.
If I'm Miami, I look at that tape and I say, I'll blitz this kid all day. Blitz him until he beats us. That's what I would do if I'm McDaniel. I look at that tape 5 seconds and say, Pete Carroll did the right thing in the third quarter. This is how we win the game.
And if you're,
he didn't sound like he went to Duke where he's going to light him up.
And
the quarterback yesterday did.
If you're looking to the defense to keep you in these games, I mean, all right, you held them to 20 points. By the way, the Raiders would make them pay on that turnover, and they would go 14-10, kick a couple of field goals. All right, it's 20-10 by the time the dagger was really put in, and that was Carlton Davis, who was beat on a 3rd and 20. Geno Smith found Thornton on a pass that had no business being completed. They weren't even applying pressure. All you have to do is not allow the long pass downfield. Just stop that from happening, and they couldn't do it, and that was your ball game. Raiders go on to win by a final of 20-13.
Well, I didn't think the corners were bad. I didn't think the secondary was bad. the defense wasn't bad.
The defense, this is the thing. Harold Landry had 2.5 sacks, and he had 1 sack that I can remember when they rushed 4. He did a nice stunt inside, sacked the quarterback. But by and large, the Patriots had a real hard time getting home when they didn't blitz. And that's a problem. Especially, we were talking about the fact that they don't have that edge rusher. They don't have that game wrecker that you need to upset the offense. They have, instead of a 10 on the edge and maybe a 3 or a 4 inside, you got a bunch of 6s and 7s rushing the passer.
But that was another thing we never understood, is how that they were going to be such a great defense with no edge rusher. And I do believe, and look, it's one game and everything could change, but we did bring up to several people several times, if their defensive line is so good, where there's a reason edge rushers A, don't become free agents, and B, make the kind of money that they make, is because they're rare and they're very important, and they don't have one.
Apparently, Milton Williams, using advanced metrics, had himself a good game.
But his job's not to rush the passer.
His job is to make sure that no one runs up the middle. But
and also but he's there to create pressure. But I shouldn't say that. His job's not to sack the quarterback.
Yes,
his job is to create pressure up the middle, and to wreak havoc up the middle. But it's not necessarily to get home. Like, I don't think they think Milton Williams is going to have 15 sacks this year. I don't think that's the goal for him. And I guess I heard the same thing as you. I guess that he had a good game.
Advanced metrics-wise. But overall, like we were talking about in the first segment, if you believe this team was going to win 9 or 10 games, if you're a national guy I heard a couple of national guys say 11 leading up to this.
So did I.
And you look at it and go, oh, my God. Oh, my God, look at this. They have how this guy was terrible, this guy was terrible, this guy was terrible. If you are a Patriots fan and you are much more realistic about this, you say, you know what? Will Campbell and Jared Wilson had themselves a really good game before things unraveled for them late in the third quarter. And they did unravel for them late in the third quarter. Kayshon Boutte was really good. You watch Drake May, and you see the potential there. He wasn't running for his life like he was a lot of last year. He was able to stand in the pocket and deliver at times. He had himself a real good quarter and a half. These are the building blocks upon which you make a good team. Yeah. That's all I ever thought this team was. The roster last year when they ended the season was a 0. All the additions had made them a 3. And if you're really optimistic, a 4 out of 10. And so you saw some good things here.
I bet you
that's what you build on.
I bet you they're 4-4 going in. If an ideal situation, not ideal, an ideal situation would be 5-3. But I bet you they're 4-4 going in that Falcons game, and then the season will fall apart. I'll take that.
But
if you're 4-4 going into that Falcons game, I think that's something Patriots fans I did not think there was any way they were going to win this game. They should win on Sunday. Their schedule, they're not going to beat the Steelers. Their schedule is the Steelers defense is really, even though it didn't play yesterday, is pretty good. TJ Watt might be the best defensive player in the NFL, but look, your schedule is easy at the beginning of the year. But let's break and we can continue. We don't have to get to it all right now. We have 3.5 hours of show to go over all this. Let's take a break here. That line.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots lost their regular season opener yesterday 20-13 to Las Vegas. Drake May a touchdown pass to Demario Douglas, but also was intercepted. Patriots 0-1. They visit Miami on Sunday. Dolphins also 0-1. They got blown out in Indianapolis yesterday 33-8. Red Sox scored 3 times in the top of the 9th inning to snap a 4-4 tie. They avoided a sweep by beating Arizona yesterday 7-4. Alex Cora pitches Garrett Crochet in Sacramento against the Athletics tonight. And number 2 Carlos Alcaraz beat number 1 Yannick Sinner in 4 sets to win the men's title at the U.S. Open Tennis Tournament. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Wes Welker, and Christian Fourier. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
sir. What's another word for pirate treasure?
Well, I think it's
Booty. Booty. Booty.
That's what it is.
They drop back. Moves up. Throws it to the left. It's caught by Booty. Who takes a hit and bounces right. Runs to the right hash mark at the 23.
Okay.
They drop back to throw. Time. Fires it right. Booty comes back to make the catch. Drop at the 15.
Takes a beat. I'll take him, number 9.
Drake Mate stands in. Fires down the middle. And it's caught by a wide open Kayshawn Booty. His 4th catch of the day. Booty. Booty. Booty.
Season of boring football in a row. A lot of seasons of boring football. All right, John, you had a point to make before we went to break.
Just trying to emphasize the positive here. You know what the Patriots were in that game? Competitive. How many games did we watch and we knew at the end of the first quarter or sometime in the second quarter that the game was over and they had no chance of winning, regardless of who the opponent was? Yesterday, the expectations have risen a little bit. They were competitive with that team. They had a chance to win that game. They were in it in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's different than the last 2 seasons. The addition of Vrabel and the addition of all of that talent and the rookies, 3 of whom started yesterday, mattered. That offensive line, I thought the left side of that offensive line was going to be in some serious trouble yesterday. And up until late in the third quarter when things got out of hand, they kind of held up. You had 2 rookies starting at left guard and left tackle, and they held up.
And according to people that, again, analyzed the game after, Will Campbell was actually pretty good. It was the guard situation that was more of a problem on the left guard. So Will Campbell, though very publicly poor at the end,
yes,
was, I guess, to people, what people have been saying is he had 3 quarters worth pretty solid football.
Yeah, in the end, you look at it and you go, okay, 3 false start penalties. You allowed 2 sacks, one of which where the quarterback ran right into the guy he was blocking when May stepped up in the pocket.
And I heard Bedard say that wasn't his fault.
No, was it his fault?
Well, no, but it also wasn't like kind of his assignment. Like that was more again the guard.
But
whatever the hell his name is.
The point is Campbell had more good than bad yesterday. And that's all you want from a rookie left tackle, that you want to protect your franchise quarterback. All I'm saying is Patriots lost. There are a lot of things you can pick apart, but if you're realistic and didn't expect much, this is a step forward from last year.
Hang on real quick. Let's take Phil. Phil, hello, Phil.
Hello. You know why Mr. Eagle loved the game so much? It was because of the big booty in the game. There's a lot of booty around. You know,
it set off his Siri to look for.
Yes, he was.
Porn.
He was just lathering at the mouth. Fred, it's weird though because I've never heard you sound so optimistic about the Patriots.
You never heard? I'm sorry. You never what?
Heard you so optimistic about the Patriots. I think it's just because you like them losing.
No,
or maybe it's Belichick not being there.
I hated Belichick. I hated the fan base. Their reaction to everything that was happening as if they were some victimized group of people. I didn't care for that. And also,
you sound so really into him now. It's weird.
Well,
I don't know what to do.
I want the fan base because the fan base is experiencing something they've never experienced before, and obviously the fan base have been very good to me. I've been here for almost 20 years. I do want the fan base to understand that I believe Vrabel's a good coach. I believe May could be a good quarterback. They're not going to win 11 games. They're not gonna. They never were. And they just don't have enough talent. So it's not a hard team to kind of root for because they're developing. And I just want people to understand that there's things to look for this season, even though they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yes, and almost ways to kind of like trick myself into remaining engaged because you watched that Baltimore-Buffalo game last night.
God.
It's a different product.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like they're playing.
Planet.
It's like
they're
NFL teams. You know, they're in the division. You might as well be watching a different sport. The way those 2 teams played versus the way the Raiders and Patriots played yesterday. So now what? Well, what Fred just said. Things to look for during the season. Signs of improvement. Ways to believe, and I believe too that they're on the ascension and that Vrabel's the right guy for this job, and May is, I still feel, the right quarterback, but it's going to take time, and to somehow make other people believe that if they get to 7 wins, that's still a good thing. Far short of the 9, 10, 11 nonsense that people were talking about up until 2 days ago.
And also, look, it would have been better if they won that game. That's a game that if they win, I do want them to be competitive going into December, which I do believe they will be. I think that they'll be one of those teams that are still in the hunt. You know what I'm saying? Like
they'll be like the last. They'll be like 6-8, and it says in the hunt.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, but you don't underestimate the power of being in the hunt. And I'm not being sarcastic.
Oh, no.
Like at least there's something. There's a little bit of hope, and I do think they will be. I really do believe that. I just if they would have won almost it might have been too much. It might have been too much.
But
it might have been like it might have because this game would have come back in some other way, and they would have lost to another team like this at home. And I just I didn't need that this morning.
Yeah, if May doesn't throw that pick and they don't get the touchdown and Davis doesn't allow that 3rd and 20 reception to go out, okay, it's a couple of plays you can kind of talk yourself into it, but still you watch a couple of other games from around the league. You watch the way the Packers played yesterday. You watch the way those two teams played last night. And I understand, Fred, there's still going to be people saying, here we go. Super Bowl, here we come.
Yeah.
They're off to a 1-0 start. But it's still, there's a huge difference. Had they gotten that win yesterday and a couple of plays going the other way, they would have. It still looks so different from what the upper echelon teams are doing right now.
Right, because they'll never win games that way. I mean, they're never gonna win a game by scoring 40-something odd points. There's just not enough talent on the team. I think Travion Henderson, despite not gaining a lot of yards, is going to be. He's a running back, and he's not an every down back. But I think he'll be exciting. But you don't have any receivers. What do you want them to? How are they going to put up 40 points in a game? They're not going to.
I was watching Travion Henderson yesterday. And by the way, no screen passes in the face of all of those blitzes. You would think they would try and take some of the pressure off of the kid by throwing a screen or two to make the defensive line think. But I'm watching Travion Henderson run the ball. And he's fast, no problem. But I'm watching him seek out contact and trying to deliver blows to defensive backs. Run out of bounds. I don't want you to do that. If you're going to last a whole season, you can't take a lot of punishment.
Setting a
That's
tone.
what Ramondre is there for.
You're not. You were to set a tone. How dare you?
Okay.
He's setting a tone.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back. We will pivot a little bit from the Patriots for a second because something big happened, but I don't know if you guys in New England have heard this angle, which is even more ridiculous. I saw it and I went, oh no! Someone's taking a side that I just cannot understand. We'll be back in just one moment.
The regular season opener. May threw for 287 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception for the day, but was also sacked 4 times as the Raiders dialed up the pressure in the second half.
Yeah, I think we just got to be better. My decision on the first drive coming out was the one that killed the drive, and then from there on, we just got to get the first down. I think once we kind of get the first down, I think we kind of moved the ball well. Got in the rhythm, just adjusting from halftime. I think I could do a better job of getting the guys and making throws.
May is now 3-10 in his career as a starting quarterback. Ashton Genty ran for a touchdown in his first NFL game for the Winners. The Patriots' next game is on the road against Miami Sunday. Dolphins began their season with a blowout loss at Indianapolis 33-8. The Buffalo Bills scored 16 points in the final 4 minutes and got a Matt Prater 32-yard field goal on the final play of the game. They won 41-40 over Baltimore at MetLife Stadium. The Jets lost to Pittsburgh 34-32. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes for the Winners. Red Sox got 3 runs in the ninth for a 7-4 win in Arizona yesterday. It is the 600th career managerial win for Alex Cora. He will pitch Garrett Crochet in Sacramento against the Athletics tonight. And Carlos Alcaraz beat Jannik Sinner in 4 sets to win the U.S. Open tennis tournament yesterday. These 2 men are responsible for the last 8 Grand Slam titles. Sports Hub headlines are powered by Joyce Cooling and Heating in Nashua. Fall appointments go fast, so beat the rush and schedule your heating tune-up to avoid surprise breakdowns when the cold hits. Schedule at joycecool.com, celebrating 30 years. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
It's called rising and grinding.
Start your
Got your finger on the pulse, Fred. Seldom right and never wrong.
Right here. Is that Dutcher or is that Hardy?
I know, looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
The Sports Hub.
Incident. So this is not just going to be the generic going over the incident that happened all weekend, but by now you've seen the situation with the home run ball in Philly and the fans. Here's how it sounded as it happened.
And Bader just unloads on this one, deep left field, and that one is gone as Bader goes back-to-back with Brandon. What a long home run to left for Harrison Bader. It's his 15th of the year.
Okay, so the ball goes into the stands. Bader is not a great offensive player, so everyone's very thrilled. They won a Bader home run ball. This happened.
Very rare.
This happened. He plays for Philly now, if you didn't know. He moved around the league a little bit. And it's at the Marlins Park, so there's a lot of room in the field, in the outfield, and the ball, no one catches it, and it goes into the stands, and a man picks it up, and he walks to his son, who looks to be about 11, 12, and he gives the kid the ball, and the kid holds on to the ball, and the dad's like behind him, hugging him, a wonderful moment, and then a woman who looks almost like a Kate McKinnon character, like a character that she would have dressed up. Like if she was doing a scene in Saturday Night Live as a quote-unquote Karen, which I'm a little sick of the term, but if she was doing like this Karen thing, this woman walks up to the dad. He's shocked when she comes up to him because who thinks that someone's going to come up to him, and she starts screaming and yelling at him to give her the ball. He gives her the ball. Now, after that, she's booed out of the game. Her and her male companion leave the game, and the Marlins give him a bag full of crap. But then the Phillies invite him downstairs, and Bader signs a bat, which he can now turn around and make $5 with. But it was a classy thing. Not classy, I guess, but it was good PR by the Marlins organization and good for the Phillies. You'd obviously much rather have the bag of crap and the bat than you would a dumb Harrison Bader home run ball. Apparently, they had bought those tickets specifically to get a home run ball because you could question why they were sitting in the left field deck when you know
plenty of seats available.
And there was plenty of seats available. So, but now, and look, yeah, it's not the lady's ball. That we all know these things. The lady was just indicative of a certain type of person, and obviously, this all happened. But and everyone knows the guy's right. In that it was his ball and the lady's wrong. I want you to hear the day of the game. This is the people on whatever network the Philly games are on. They're analyzing this. I want you to hear how they analyze this. And I want you to hear about this is how a person who is never, and he might be a tough ex-player guy, whatever. He hasn't been in a fight, a real fight, like not on the field. I can tell you that, and I'll explain why. Maybe it would help if I turned on my equipment.
Harrison Bader in the fourth inning. I want you to check out where this ball.
Now, the guy who's doing this is like a gray-haired guy. He's probably 60.
Harrison Bader in the fourth inning. I want you to check out where this ball lands, Ben Davis. Left field, and some Phillies fans are going to grapple for the ball. Guy in the red T-shirt right there comes up with it, walks down the aisle, and hands it to his son. And gets it as that woman in the white hair there is left with nothing. And she says, "Excuse me, that should be my baseball." And the guy's like, "Are you kidding me?" "No, it's my son's baseball." And the other woman there says, "Yeah, it's not yours." But the guy, I don't think I would have done this to my child.
No.
He takes it and says, "Here, do you want it? It's all yours, Karen." And she walks down the aisle, and "Yes, that's mine." Gives it to her husband.
Good for you.
Good for you. But guess what? He gets a gift bag. It looks like a Phillies gift bag, too.
No, it was a Marlins.
It was a Marlins
employee.
Bravo, Marlins.
And everyone, they gave a standing ovation. Yeah, all
Standing
right,
O.
buddy. Nice going.
But wait, there's more. If you order right now, we'll give you Dave Dombrowski and Harrison Bader signing a bat for your son underneath the stadium.
That's so awesome.
Oh,
well done, Harrison Bader. Nice going. Nice going.
Meanwhile,
not nice going by that fan.
Well, you know what? We understand Karen's ball. She dropped it, fell down a storm drain, which is unfortunate. But you know what? Perhaps, maybe deserved. That's terrible. If that happened to you, what would you do? Would you take the ball and give it back?
No.
No. I don't think. The guy kind of went like,
Yeah. I don't know why she thought she had the right to do that, but
I don't know either.
I'm just glad the kid got taken care of and everything's worked out.
I agree.
Yeah, so the guy says, if that was you, would you give him the ball back? He's busting the guy's ball for giving the ball back, and he goes the guy went kind of like, "Ee." He was talking about when the woman came up, he was like shocked and raised his hands. What planet are you on? What do you want? Fine. What do you want the guy to do? First of all, what do you want to hit her? She's insane. She comes up to him. Look at her hair. She's insane. She is screaming and yelling at him for this ball that it's hers. This tough guy, she's like grabbing at the ball. What do you want him to do? Like knock her hand away? Like push her away? Well, how do you want him to handle this? Turn tail and run? You've never been in a fight in your entire life. You cannot win in that situation. It would now look, if the lady came up and went my ball, it would have been like, nah, screw you. It's not your ball. But I tell you what, if she started jostling with my glove and everything, what am I going to do? How can I win? How can I win that confrontation? I can't. The ball is in her court. She's a female. She's insane. She has a bob haircut, which she has refused to dye, which means that you know that she goes to many, many, many places where you can buy fresh fruit from local vendors and carries tote bags. She is someone who frequents the library. They cause problems. These women cause problems. They are there to cause problems. They litigate, I would imagine, at a very substantial basis. These are the women that complain about leaf blowers. These are the women that call. This was all Brooklyn 911 ladies. These are women that called the police when a kid's kicking up dirt in the infield of a playground. If that guy moves a muscle, she's calling the police. And guess what? The police in real time are not going to go, "Oh, he didn't do anything." They're going to at least remove him for the game. They're probably going to arrest him. And the guy's there with his son, his daughter, and his wife. And what, you want to get arrested in front of your son, your daughter, and your wife? And I've done dumb things. I've gotten in confrontations with people. I've gotten in confrontations with people when my kids were younger, because I had a famous one in Newport where a guy was yelling at my kid for making noise in a place where they had this was in Newport, where they had the television up for a game, and he was yelling at my son to quiet down, and I yelled back at him, and they ended up kicking the guy out. and giving us like everything for free. But the thing is that looking back, I shouldn't even have done that. I shouldn't have engaged with some guy at the bar. I wasn't sitting at the bar. I was at a table, but I shouldn't have engaged with the guy. But, here I was like tough guy. I'm going to, act cool in front of my kid. And it was the wrong thing to do. But a female with that haircut that comes up to you, I'll tell you what, if I'm driving, if I go to Cold Spring Park and I don't think, and it's a Tuesday, and I go to walk my dog, and they have that market, that fresh fruit market, or wherever the hell they call those things.
Farmers market?
Farmers market,
yeah.
And they have a farmers market.
12 started paying attention. Farmers market?
There's 5. No, me and 12. I sent this to 12 as soon as I saw it. There's at least 70 of these ladies walking around, and they're walking right at your car, and they're daring you to do something. And you know what I do? I do nothing. I go, oh, Jesus Christ, it's Tuesday. Why did I pull in here? But now my dog's all riled up. He wants to go for the walk in the woods, so I have to do what I have to do. They're women, if you see that you want their parking spot at Cold Springs Park, they will deliberately dick around in their trunk. Like, I was behind a lady one time. She was so pleased that I wanted her spot that she screwed around in her trunk where I'm not kidding. I just sat there. I said, this is fine. I just want to see how long this will go on. I actually enjoyed it. I timed it. It was like 4 minutes and 45 seconds she played with things in the trunk before she even got in her car to move it. She saw me, and whatever about me wanting that space, she didn't like that. She didn't like it, but she loved it. She wanted me. She just wanted to have that power for a little while. The power over a dumb cis white guy. She just wanted that more than anything in the world. I like tough guy on the broadcast there. Yeah, the lady starts wildly gesturing and screaming at you. He did the right thing. Now, would I have done that when that was my kid? Maybe not, and that would have been stupid on my part. Now that I have some sense of what's going on in the world, that I'm not depleted mentally as much as I used to be. I'm still depleted mentally. Hardy will tell you. But more under doctor's orders now than anything else. I'll tell you, he did the right thing 1,000 times out of 1,000.
You can't. Your comparison, I guess, to the guy who was talking to Milo. You just said it. It's a guy. If there's some guy who's like talking to your kid in a way that you don't want to talk to your kid, fully licensed, and you're fine to go and say whatever you want and get into it. But this, as you said, this unhinged woman comes at you and starts talking to your kid. What is he supposed to do? As she is like getting up into their space, you can't touch her.
No.
You can't even really yell back at her. You can't do anything.
You can't. You live in Massachusetts, audience that lives in Massachusetts. Like if you live in Pittsburgh or something, I suppose maybe not as much. But certainly in Massachusetts, and especially at a Red Sox game. They did some Daily Show thing that was really not funny at all. Like, it was not funny. It popped up on my algorithm about where they had some correspondent go to Boston and ask people if they were racist, and they went out to a Red Sox game. Forget the premise of it. The premise wasn't funny, and it really wasn't well done. But they talked to people that looked just like this lady, and if you went to a Patriots game, a Bruins game, a Celtics game, you ain't seen ladies that look like that. That's a baseball lady. That lady, that's the guy. The male equivalent of it is, I told you, in the beer line, where, they only, it's like your last 5 minutes before you can get a beer. The line back in the day was long.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's not. And I told you about the guy. It's like these guys that are like these guys that are like professors at colleges that never really go anywhere like this. And they're like, so what do you got on tap today? Oh, same thing as the 10 minutes ago when you were waiting in line, stupid.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. And then they pull out cash. We don't take cash. Oh, how long has that been going on? Like, like they have corduroys on with the wallet like mine, a big ass old man wallet like I have.
Yeah.
And they sit there and they go, wow. And then meanwhile, everyone in line's going like, stupid. We have 2 minutes. Like what are you doing? Like they don't leave the house except to go to farmers markets in the library. And they don't pick up the phone unless it's a landline to complain about the landscaper next door. You know exactly who they are. They live in. It's the same thing. The first time I came in here, when I lived in Brookline, and I told you that there was a person in Brookline that legitimately, I promise you, had a bullhorn fastened to their porch, so they didn't have to go outside to yell at you for touching their precious 2x2 lawn.
See, I respect the setup on that, though. I do.
It took some how to.
It took some doing, some wiring and some
a lot of practice too. There was a lot of yelling before. It's like, how do I speed this
when
up?
we were moving into Brookline, when I first moved to Massachusetts, they were unloading the moving truck, and we were moving into the third floor of, I'll call it like a brownstone, but like a townhouse, whatever, in Brookline, and there was a patch of dirt about, honestly, swear to you, 5 feet by 3 feet. And the movers put a grill on it. Not forever. They didn't hook up gas. They just put the grill on it. And these 2 maniacs, women, came out of the side of the building. I come to find out that in a building owned by someone else, they bought a side unit with like a window. Bought it. Good luck selling that, lady. And they both came out and F me and F you and get the F off my property. A patch of dirt, nothing growing on it, a patch of dirt. And they screamed at me, and you know what they looked like? That lady.
Yeah. Now, I've seen...
And you know what I did? I just went, why'd I move here? Like, why'd I move to Brookline? And I knew.
I've seen the far away footage. I haven't seen anything up close with the audio. Have you heard the up close audio?
No, well, there's no up close audio of her talking.
There is.
Oh, there is. But I have seen her face in her glasses.
Okay, so I want
and her hair that she refuses to dye.
Would you like to hear her?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sure, certainly.
You took it from me.
That poor man.
Mine.
That poor man that she's with.
But the notion
that poor guy.
But the notion that the guy should have done something about it. Like, you can't win. They're going to the police. Like, you can't win.
Yeah.
You're like, they want to stay at the game with their family.
And that's the other thing. The second you like do anything other than just say whoa, 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 you're out of the game too.
And say they like don't arrest you, but they kick you out of the game. You don't think she's gonna at least try to file a civil lawsuit against you? Like, just if you yelled back at her for like verbal assault or something? Come on. I mean, this is why litigation exists. This is why there's that petty court that they have where you represent yourself.
Small claims court.
Small claim. This is small claims court. This is someone clogging up the judicial system with $25 complaints.
You're right. This is a baseball woman. Like, if you,
no, this ain't at a football game.
No, what I'm saying, not at a football game. Women that go to hockey games.
No, women at a hockey game just hit you in the face.
Much different.
No, a lady at a Bruins game just
punch that woman in the face.
It might even be like a hot girl to just punch you in the face.
Yep.
But she's just from like a bad neighborhood. Yeah, she did. Huh? How do I get that done?
No, she
spit on me.
She might kick you in the balls.
Hey, what kind of boots they generally wear? But yeah, the football game back in the day, they're not going to do it at a football game anyway. There's too much there's too much danger.
Hockey games.
There's too much danger at a football game or a hockey game, and the ball ain't going into a crowd at a basketball game. But these are baseball people, and I love baseball. But this exists solely there's very little consequence at a baseball game. You get a lot of ex-Harvard, a lot of tweed jackets at a 90-degree day at Fenway. And you
elbow
got
patches.
Elbow patches on a tweed jacket with corduroys.
Maybe a pipe.
Yeah, a lot of Alan Dershowitz's. A lot of the Dersh.
Hush puppies.
Yeah. Yeah, well-worn hush puppies with socks. Just walking around with saggy corduroys. And you know what they are? Legal trouble. They just have signs that say legal trouble. All right. Well, there you go. I can't believe tough guy from Philadelphia thought the guy should have done something.
Well cared for, but not top of the line Volvo waiting for them to drive them home.
Apparently, the guy's name is Ricky Pitalico.
Yeah.
But
Well, Ricky Pitalico, I'm on your side. You did the exact right thing. I'm glad things worked out for you. Anyone who calls you a pussy for giving the ball back has never been in a real situation in life. There's very little. There's no way you win that situation.
I don't think I would have done this to my child.
No. Yeah. 2-year child. 2-year child. They did a 2-year child. You taught your child a good lesson. Lady who refuses to dye her hair comes up to you and starts yelling.
The guy kind of went like,
Yeah. He was afraid of her. Right. He was physically afraid of her. Tough guy. Big tough guy. What would you have done? Smack her in the face? Good. You can go to jail.
I don't think I would have done this to my child.
I'm from Philadelphia. I wouldn't have done it. Yeah. Okay, good. Then go to jail. In front of your family, too. Go to jail. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. We have Mike Reese on.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right. Today, because I've switched to Monday.
there, and anytime you're playing a division opponent, it matters. It means something. You'll bounce back and realize that at the same time learn from it. Learn from it as much as we can, but at the same time, it's one game, and we gotta get back, and it's a long season, so get back at it. Do what I need to do to play better on my end and help guys around me play better.
We're Toucher and Hardy. Mike Reese is ESPN's NFL Nation reporter covering the Patriots. We love having him on. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Good morning, guys. Great to be with you. Another season. Looking forward to it. How's everyone doing?
Well, Fred's got some gastrointestinal issues.
Yeah, he's struggling this morning. Mike.
Nothing gross. So it's nothing gross. It's just it's a level of discomfort that I can handle, but it's concerning enough in the type of pain that it is that I do question if this is going to get bad.
Oh.
Like an appendicitis or something is what my concern is.
So it's acute. The pain is acute.
No, it's I would describe it as a discomfort. Now, I do, you might laugh, but I do have a relatively high tolerance for discomfort. And I don't know about pain, but discomfort. But when this turns to pain.
Well, that means you have a low tolerance for pain. Discomfort, I think we all deal with.
I think my definition of discomfort by some people, including members of my family, could be labeled as pain.
Okay.
What I call discomfort would be pain. What I would consider pain is if I was shot, then I don't think I would handle it and just go I've been shot, sew me up. I think I might be ouch.
Yeah.
If you hit me in the nose real hard and broke it, which has happened to me several times, I don't think I would be oh, that's fine, and just walk away. I think I would be in a lot of I would want it fixed.
But despite the discomfort, the gastrointestinal discomfort, you're able to soldier on through this segment. You're going to be okay.
You're making fun of it. I hope nothing's wrong with me. I never go on the air and say stuff like this is going on. That's not gout or my throat. I haven't come on and said that I have a concerning pain in my body.
Okay.
That's like an organy kind of thing.
Okay, but if you end up dying from an appendicitis situation, we won't be blamed, but we should feel bad for having some fun with it. It's not like an awful announcing situation.
No.
We're not going to be blamed for your death.
No, but if I die and then your ratings go up, then it will be wonderful for your careers. That's what you can have. You can go like he was almost an albatross.
Yeah.
And so you can look forward to that. All right, Mike, when they inevitably go up, you can look forward to that. All right, Mike, I apologize. They brought it up, not me. I wanted to get right to football. But I will be blamed somehow, but it was their fault. All right, let's go over the game. Let's start with Drake May. Kind of review his performance, how you thought he was yesterday.
Fred, hosting through the pain. Much respect from me
it's
for
the
that.
Jordan game. Yep, thank you.
That's it. So I came out of the game, Fred, and we have to answer a big question for ESPN.com out of every game. And my big question was, what can Drake May do more of to elevate the offense? I felt like they needed more from him in the game. So to your question, my thoughts on his performance, I think there's throws that are higher percentage throws that seem like he's not making those throws. And I think it's making it harder on himself. And I think that's one thing that stands out, and they need more from him.
Okay. And just another big question. Well, he wasn't a big question mark, but a big question mark coming into the season was Will Campbell. How did you feel he held up yesterday?
I didn't think that he was if we were making a list of the top issues that they had, I wouldn't put him near the top of the list. I was listening to Mike Vrabel on his radio interview this morning, and I think he felt the same way when he was asked that question. He said that between him and Jared Wilson, the fellow rookie on the left side, that they hung in there. Was it perfect? Obviously not. False start penalty late there that made the 4th and 5 go to 4th and 10. And then Vrabel elects to punt when he would have went for it. That's one thing that stands out. Maybe a few blocking miscues, but I didn't think it was that bad, Fred. I didn't think it was that bad from Will Campbell. I thought something definitely that he can build off of, and not that bad.
Okay. Defensively, we were talking about the secondary earlier, and there were obviously some issues. Jalen Hawkins got beat early, but came back, got the interception. The play toward the end of the game when Carlton Davis got beat on the 3rd and 20. Just starting there, and I guess we'll work our way forward because I think things got better. How do you think the defense played? And we'll start on the back end there.
Hardy, they gave up 9 plays of 20 yards or more. 9 plays of 20 yards or more. Going to be hard to win games when you do that. I would say I go offense first would be, and Drake would be at the top of my list of areas that led to the result that happened. And that would be the second point, like too many big plays given up. And on that specific play you're mentioning, 3rd and 20, they brought pressure. And I think Carlton Davis, I heard Mike Rabel say this morning, just probably needs to play off there and don't give up the deep ball more, keep everything in front of you, rally in front of you and tackle. So that was a miscue.
Ultimately, these two things go hand in hand. I know Hardy wanted to work our way forward here, but the lack of a pass rush with only 4 guys contributed to some of that. There were blown coverages too. I remember Brock Bowers catch and run for a big gain on a slant over the middle, but it just seemed like if Vrabel didn't dial up a blitz, and you saw a lot of that as the game went on, the Patriots weren't getting home, and that contributed to a lot of big plays.
I think that's right on, John. And it's the same old story. You got to sync up the coverage and the rush. And at times, if you're going to send extra rushers, like you mentioned, the Brock Bowers catch and run for 38 yards, they sent 6 rushers. So just 5 back in the secondary. And if you don't get close to Geno Smith, you're in a vulnerable spot right there. So I think that's it. You send 4, well, you might be relying on your coverage to hang in longer because you got more numbers back there. But when you send more rushers on the blitz, and that's Terrell Williams, the defensive coordinator, you're relying on that pressure getting there because no one, even if Christian Gonzalez was playing, can cover that long for some of those longer developing plays.
So how do you fix it?
How do you fix it?
That's not his job, John.
No. I mean, that's a good question. John, let me come back to you on that because that's like an X's and O's thing. And I mean, make more plays. I don't know. I mean, let me come back to you on that so I have a better answer.
Yeah, let him come back to you.
Safe to say, we'll go back to the offense because I mean that's obviously where more of the questions were before the start of the season. Safe to say that we're all looking for a little bit more out of the run game.
Oh my goodness, Hardy, absolutely. They had 60 yards rushing. You go back to that's the fewest yards rushing in a Patriots opener since 1996 against the Dolphins. I think some of that is you get behind, in the fourth quarter, you're going to lean more towards the pass. But I want to look more at the playtime distribution of the running backs. Ramondre Stevenson, 46 snaps. Travion Henderson, I think it was 24 or 25. And Antonio Gibson, just 5. I think that's an area to dive into and say, what, you get the 2nd-round pick who's got a lot of speed, probably needs to be on the field more and maybe bring Ramondre's numbers down a little bit.
What do you do? You were talking about getting the rookie out there. I'm wondering why they didn't throw a lot more short passes and screen passes to him. I saw swing passes to get him out there, but considering the Raiders blitzed a ton in the second half, why was the screen game not utilized more with him specifically?
It's a good question, John. I mean, I remember one time they did try it, and maybe it was early in the game, and the Raiders were right on it. And so I think probably the answer to that would be that the defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, probably pretty dialed in that when Henderson's in the game, be alert for the screen. And John, just to go back to the other question, how to fix it on defense, I think getting Christian Gonzalez back would obviously help, right? So better players. So that's one part of it. And then that just came to my mind because I didn't want to leave you hanging on the answer to that.
Well, thank you.
Did this change your kind of the way you think this season's going to go, this loss? I know you weren't overly optimistic. You weren't going 11 wins with the people, but does this change how you feel this season is going in any way?
Fred, so I don't overreact to the first game. I'd use last year as an example. Patriots won that game. We saw what happened. That being said, I will say I expected more yesterday. So I would say maybe confidence slightly shaken. And part of the reason for that is, they talked for a week about the importance of the second half. And Mike Vrabel even structured his practices last week to focus on the second half by putting a break in the practice and then having the players come back as if it was a simulated halftime. And for them to come out and play the way they did in the second half, that does shake the confidence a little bit. But I wouldn't overreact to one game, but probably why I think I was saying 7 to 9 wins. And then our friend Mike Giardi got on me. He said, you can't say 7 to 9 wins. You got to give a number. And I think I settled on 8. As we got to the start.
I can't believe you did that. You had between 7 and 9 to choose, and you chose the one right there in the middle.
By the way, when Vrabel took that break in the middle of practice, did he practice making halftime adjustments? I mean, did he do his own practice there?
You're great, Hardy. How about come out of halftime, you get a penalty on the kickoff return, so you're already deep, and then we're talking about Will Campbell on the left side, but on the interception that Drake May threw, it was actually the right side of the line. Micah Wenu and Morgan Moses, it looked like they struggled a little bit with one stunt there, and Drake got hit, and that turnover, in my view, I don't know if you guys view it the same way, it changed the game. It was the turning point of the game.
All right, and this is just a kind of cosmetic thing that I want to ask you about. This team has been really boring, win or lose, for a while. This game was boring in a way. Do you think that is going to change this season? Say they win 8 games, and that's great, and you're in the hunt. Still you're on that graphic in December, and that's really what you should root for with this season. Is there a way that this gets a little more entertaining?
Yeah, I would invest in that thought, Fred, and the reason why is I think we'll see more Travion Henderson. He's an exciting player. Kyle Williams, their 3rd-round pick wide receiver, he'll get mixed in there. He's an exciting player. I think Stephon Diggs, I'd like to see him play a little more. They were easing him into the mix. I think he had 29 snaps. I thought every ball that was thrown to him, he caught for the most part. I think he's exciting. So I do think they'll get better, Fred, like Mike Vrabel and this coaching staff. I think they'll get this team playing better, a more exciting brand of football. And one point Vrabel made, there were 25 new players that were wearing the Patriots uniform in this game. And it does take some time to come together.
And how many of those players do you think are difference makers?
Well, should we go through them, Fred? Like how much time? Okay,
No. But just my point is that everyone, went nuts about free agency and how much the talent's improved. And I just think that might have been over. And not because of this game, just in general. I think that might have been overstated a little bit.
Yeah. I think a small handful of difference makers. And clearly the roster still needs an influx of more players, more talent.
Right. All right. Well, Mike, I hope you're right. I hope the games get a little more exciting as the year goes on. And look, they have a fairly soft schedule coming up, and it looks like that might be good for them. Thank you so much for the time, Mike. Everyone watch him, read him, everything on ESPN. Thank you so much for the time.
All right, Fred, and I'm here for you. Good luck getting through the rest of the show.
Well, I will. You don't worry about it. I will. Even if they take me out of here in a stretcher. They'll do so at 9:55.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I knew you were going to be a smart ass.
Why don't we send Nick to the drugstore there for some Gas X, just to relieve some of the pain.
That'd be more
bloating.
for you than me. So, because hopefully this gets done organically. All right, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we will be right back. Nicholas was out at the game. I have to reimburse him for his parking. They couldn't give him free parking, so I will reimburse him for that. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots lost their regular season opener 20-13 to the Las Vegas Raiders at Gillette Stadium yesterday. Rookie Ashton Genty a touchdown run. Geno Smith 362 yards passing for the winners. Harold Landry 2.5 sacks to lead the Patriots defense. Their next game is on the road against Miami this Sunday. Dolphins got run over in Indianapolis yesterday 33-8. Red Sox avoided being swept yesterday. Care of a 7-4 win in Arizona over the Diamondbacks. Nick Sogard's pinch hit 2-run double, the big hit in the top of the ninth inning. Sox are a game and a half behind the Yankees for the top wild card. They'll pitch Garrett Crochet in Sacramento tonight against the Athletics. And Carlos Alcaraz beat Jannik Sinner in 4 sets to win the U.S. Open tennis tournament. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Frankie of Boston Prolotherapy. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey, it's Felger here for Cambridge Savings Bank, my official bank. Whether you're looking to grow your successful business or start a new venture, count on Cambridge Savings Bank for service and support at every step of your journey. Member FDIC.
Stock up on home essentials at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off 7th.
no longer loves things.
Let's go. Let's ride.
98.5.
Like, let's roll the dice.
Sports Hub.
We're Toucher and Hardy. Home opener for the Patriots yesterday. We'll go around the NFL next. Bob Sosi will join us at 9 o'clock. A lot still to be said. Not a very exciting game, but what are you going to do? All right. Young Nicholas went out to the game. He was able to get tickets from the station, but not parking. How much was the parking for Nicholas? I need to know.
You said parking was free.
Huh? Just because the Patriots just give you free parking? Well done, Nick. He's not doesn't want to share information. What's the deal? He's just being cute?
No, he said no. He was just on the phone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was free.
So Patriots have free parking at the games?
Apparently.
I thought it was only free if you agreed to stay in like lot 10 until an hour after the game ends or something like that.
Across the street, that one?
Nick?
There's that one, but for general admission parking, it's free.
No, that's nice of the Patriots.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, there you go. Well, that's good.
You can pay for my hot dog and beer.
Huh?
You can pay for my hot dog and beer.
No, that's just your alcoholism.
That's just your day drinking.
Yeah, that's just your alcoholism. That's just for your
People were saying that on Twitter. They were like, oh, look at you drinking.
Do you want me to pay for your other basic necessities? Want me to pay for your soap and your toothbrushes?
Did you post a photo of you drinking a beer?
I post a photo of me with a treehouse, which I never thought I would ever see the day that you could get a treehouse beer.
I know, that's crazy.
This is the
I'm so glad you put that up.
Second time he said that.
Stability.
That's awesome that you were able to get that beer.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it really is.
I never thought I'd see a day I'd get treehouse beer someplace other treehouse.
Yeah.
If I did it, I put it on Instagram.
I don't sound like
You sound exactly like that.
It's
You're
like
the one upset.
when the drones were all over New Jersey. It was just like that treehouse beer. Am I dreaming? Wow, I can be a real idiot beer snob.
A man walking on the moon, the internet,
Pong, ka, po, og.
and getting treehouse beer as stadium.
Yeah, he needed that.
Monster story.
Hardy and I have been there.
Monster-tory.
Hardy and I have been there. You need to look. You were shaking too much. You needed to get a couple of those in your system before you could fully do your job. Look, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, but Nicholas was out at the game, and here's what he was up to.
I'm Nick from Toucher and Hardy.
Wait, Jamelli?
Yeah.
Oh, my daughter is a nurse in Tufts. No she had your father over there.
Oh, that's not against any Hippocratic oath. Way to keep that in, Nick.
Hi, Nick. You talk to my doctor. You know who I've seen more than you? My doctor. I've only seen him once because we're estranged.
I took it to mean she had your father, as in she took him as a lover.
Oh, no.
I hadn't thought of that.
No, he's been under the weather, unfortunately.
Nick, you wouldn't know anything of the doctor.
You don't even know what hospital I was in.
You just want the fortune, like when you went out with that money and bought the dumb bike. Remember when you had nothing, you were an intern, and you got a little bit of money, and you bought a dirt bike with it?
I bought a motorbike, you blockhead.
And during all the feasts.
Yeah, Juliet.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he's in there every other week, so.
Yeah, she loves him. He tells her all the time.
They should have like
I'm on 98.5.
I listen to you all the time, bro. You're great. Hey, some of the guys are all dumb and
Touch
shit.
is a little off, but
No, I'm off, but Nick is great with all his. That's right, Nick. You're great. You're doing a lot of great stuff.
Come on.
How often is he on the air?
Nick, he's great. Whenever he's on the air, he picks his spots.
Right. That's right. He had that treehouse beer, so he was radiating a vibe.
Oh, he's feeling no pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a beer.
He's 3 sheets to the wind with that thing.
Oh, okay.
You finally got. You know what's great about that beer? The hoppiness.
Nick, do you get inebriated easier because of all your health issues? Like, is your blood so thinned out with literal blood thinners and stuff like that?
Nah, I think it's his autoimmune disorders that probably make it easier.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Hey, and I didn't like how he got on the Italians. Tell him, don't get on the Italians.
Okay, I will.
He was busted on,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
Italian too.
No, not your man.
what was he giving?
That was in the North End.
No, Nick's not Italian. He's decidedly not Italian. That's
we
stolen
went through
valor.
all of that. He's not Italian.
Yeah, he's one of these
No.
fake ones. He
Stolen valore.
yeah, he took a 23andMe, and there's very little Italian in him, despite his family's whole identity being from Italy. It's a shame. Maybe if you liked the USA more, it wouldn't have been such a shock to you.
Basically discovered that I'm not really Italian, but that's okay.
How's your dad
Oh, no, good for you. You admitted it.
doing? I remember your dad was in the North End, right?
Yeah, he still lives there. He's doing okay.
He's doing okay, good.
He's doing all right. But let me ask you about the game.
I never say face.
All right.
So now I'm
Threw you off your game. He threw you off your
You're a
game.
regular dude, man.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, you're a regular dude. You're not. I was expecting a lot more from you. Just a regular guy.
Walking around in a top hat and a monocle.
Yeah.
You're really just one of us.
Yeah, like you're not. I was expecting you to be with the Crafts. I didn't. I can't believe that you were down here just in the concourse talking to us.
Can we use this for the radio?
Yes.
Oh, now's the time to ask.
All right. First off, what are your thoughts on the game? Obviously, it's a disappointment. Week one.
Definitely a disappointment. The Pats, they come out and they were like the weather. They sucked.
All right. Your thoughts on Drake May? And remember, keep it loose and stuff like that. Say whatever you want.
I think Drake May.
Keep it loose, man. We're all having tree houses. We're all knocking them back. Keep it loose.
Stuff like that. Say whatever you want.
I think Drake May. Really, if you think about him, he's like the next coming to Mac Jones. He sucks.
Mac Jones 2.0. Mac Jones 2.0.
I seriously believe that, and I love the Patriots. I've been a Patriots fan for my whole life, but he's definitely. He's not it.
He didn't have a good game.
He's not what he wanted. He didn't have a good. He's not.
He does.
He didn't have a good year
rushes.
last year. He's gonna throw the ball around.
He's too raw. He's too raw.
What is your outlook for the rest of the season after today?
They'll be lucky to win 5 games.
Really?
Originally, I thought 8 to 9, and I'm thinking 5 to 6 now. From what I saw today, I hopefully I'm wrong. I love the Pats. I love them with all my heart. I've been a Pats fan my whole life, but
So your main concern is not so much the defense, it's the offense and what you're saying.
The offense.
Nick, I'm not making fun of you here. How old were these guys? Because I am curious based on their take. How old were they?
Good question.
Late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah,
isn't it?
All right.
yeah, reasonable
They've seen
fans.
It. They've seen it.
Reasonable fans.
Yep.
Good for them.
Yeah, they can't move the ball, and they can't protect Drake. He looks like he's terrified as soon as the ball gets snapped.
All right.
We'll see.
All right. Well, thank you, Nick. We'll have more audio tomorrow. We need a little more time to. And Nick, I will buy you your Treehouse beer. I'll buy you the one that you admit to. I'm not going to buy you the 7 that you. He had a stack of beer cups at one time that made it to the upper deck. He was sitting in the club section, and he built a tower at least
He did the
2
snake.
stories high. He made a huge snake. But, yes, I can reimburse you for your food and beverage. I will do that. All right. We will be right back. We will go around the NFL. An exciting week 1 of NFL action. That nothing good happened.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
beaten in their regular season opener yesterday, 20-13 by Las Vegas and Foxborough. Raiders scored 13 straight points after the Patriots took a 10-7 lead at halftime, and they got 362 yards passing from Geno Smith. Mike Vrabel is now 2-5 in his head coaching career in week 1 of the regular season.
We just didn't do enough in the second half. Give them credit, and we certainly didn't do enough. We were too many missed opportunities, too many penalties, things, the turnover and things that just didn't take advantage of bad football, and then we're able to, have bad football ourselves.
Drake May threw a touchdown pass to Demario Douglas, but also added a bad interception, which led to an Ashton Genty touchdown run for the visitors that put them ahead for good. Patriots visit Miami on Sunday, and the Dolphins are also 0-1. They got blown out in Indianapolis yesterday, 33-8. Buffalo scored 16 points in the final 4 minutes late last night and got a field goal on the final play of the game for a 41-40 home win over Baltimore at MetLife Stadium. The Jets lost to Pittsburgh 34-32. Aaron Rodgers 4 touchdown passes for the winners. Red Sox scored 3 times in the 9th. They beat Arizona 7-4. It's the 600th career managerial win for Alex Cora, and he'll give the baseball to Garrett Crochet in Sacramento tonight in the opener of a 3-game series against the Athletics. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Eastern Massachusetts, leader in drain cleaning and pipelining. Drains by James. Slow drain, clogged drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next updated at 8:30.
Here we go.
Boom. I win. Kaboom.
Yeah. Hit somebody.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallach?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
Around the NFL with Toucher and Hardy.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Okay, and we'll get back to it, but by now the Patriots have lost their season opener, but that doesn't mean as you listen or watch Toucher and Hardy on YouTube, when you subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, you will not be delighted as we go to a very exciting week 1 of football. Hardy, where are we starting?
We're going to start with last night, one of the game of the weekend, really. Big rivalry game as it's now becoming, and a bit of a whatchamacallit for the Baltimore Ravens. They had a big chip on their shoulder, Fred.
To avenge the playoffs.
To avenge the playoff loss to the Bills last year. So, last night in Buffalo, Ravens, Bills, Ravens taking control.
Give it to Henry, running the left side. Big hole. Henry to the 30. Henry to the 20. The King to the 10. Touchdown, Derrick Henry. A 46-yard run. And all of a sudden, fall in Buffalo feels like winter to these Bills fans now.
Hell yeah.
It was a 49-yard run. That's right. Stupid.
Okay. That made it 40-25. Bills fans started to leave. That was it.
4 minutes left. You're down 15 points.
I mean, you're midway through.
I would have left.
I would have left too.
Midway through the fourth quarter. I mean, it's like you're down 15 to the Ravens, and they're just running all over you.
I'm not positive. Was the stat it's never happened before? There is some stat about it's
in a season opener, I think. I mean, there's a couple of qualifiers, like home opener or something. I don't know.
Buffalo's win probability. ESPN has these percentages.
Yeah.
Buffalo's win probability with 8:37 to go, 1.1%.
Yeah, I still don't know why they do that. I don't know why, and I don't know why anyone looks at it. It's just, no kidding. Oh wow, they were supposed to win, the Ravens. I couldn't tell from the score
and the time on the clock.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, and then it got the win probability as Buffalo continued to score and get back into the game. It shifted dramatically.
Oh yeah, did the probability go down?
No. The Buffalo's probability of winning went up the more they scored.
I understand. Well,
the closer the game got,
it probably went up after this.
I wouldn't
Allen
know.
has time. Now pressure coming from Van Noy. Throws, it's high, and it's caught in the end zone by Keon Coleman. It may have been intended for Dawson Knox, but Coleman's the one that ends up with it. Agent Zero with a touchdown.
Oh, everyone's got such cool nicknames. I want to hear what Van Noy has to say in his podcast later this week.
If I were Coleman, I would insist on being called either Goldman or Coleman or Coleman, depending on where Armand is, whether he's at his home in Greece or they're in South Beach. Coleman, Goldman, Coleman, or Coleman.
You could call him the cooler.
Ravens would get the ball back. Derrick Henry's got the ball. No problem. They can still ice this thing, right?
And I hand it off to Henry, and he's bottled up. The ball is out. It's loose. Who's got the football? It's Buffalo Ball at the Baltimore 30-yard line. Terrell Bernard.
Okay, but
18 carries, 169 yards, 9.4 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns, and he fumbles and costs him the game. It's just, you can't fumble. You just can't lose the football. It doesn't matter what else you do. You cannot do that, especially at your own end. It negates everything. They would have been better off just having some average running back that didn't fumble in that situation. I understand he busted a long one, but he's responsible for them losing.
Well, you're still up 8. And there's 3 minutes left. Get a stop, and you still win the game. You haven't cost him the game yet.
Allen rolling to his right, looking to the end zone, and he's just going to run it in all by himself. The beast has been released. He was looking for the tight end in the back of the end zone, but he was covered, so he took matters into his own hands.
Okay, and that made it 40-38. What do you do now? Wallach, did you see the end of this game last night?
Of course not.
Okay,
no, this game ended at midnight.
None of us are watching it in real time.
No, I didn't see the end of the game in real time.
You gotta wake
you
up
didn't even
early.
ask me. You knew the answer.
Well, Buffalo held on to all their timeouts. They forced a 3-and-out.
Well,
from the Ravens,
40-38. They went for 2.
Went for 2, didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
But they had all their timeouts. They forced a 3-and-out, used the timeouts wisely, and it set up a field goal try to win it.
Here's the snap, hold is down, kick on the way, and it is good. And Matt Prater, in his first game as a Buffalo Bill, has won the ball game here in week 1. They come all the way back to win the game at the gun.
I think Prater got to the team on Friday.
Yes, Tyler Bass was placed on injured reserve during the week, so they signed Prater off the street.
And there's a story that Prater went up to Allen when he got signed and said, I'm going to do my best for you or something like that.
Too.
And I'm thinking, why?
Okay.
Why did he feel the need to do that?
You're a kicker. Congratulations.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything at practice.
Until it's time.
Oh, yeah, I know. Until kickers won every close game. I mean, it's just unbelievable how important it is.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. There's no position in sports that's more crapped on, that's more necessary, and we'll get into it next game, as having an effing kicker. It's everything.
I've been insane for years, and nobody cares. Nobody cares that I say nobody cares, but nobody cares about the kickers.
Yeah.
The guy that just won them the game wasn't even on the team until 3 days ago.
Right. And the thing is
the
that
one guy that you're going to rely upon to put points on the board for you each and every week, the teams, it's the last thought on their mind.
And the way the NFL is now, none of these games are generally blowouts. They're really not. I mean, if you go around and you look at it over the last few years, just go through scores, there's very few blowout games. They generally come within a score, and it generally comes down to field goal kicking. And I mean, this did. The one we're doing after this did.
Patriots
in a couple of ways, that one of which you might not even be aware of. Go ahead.
Patriots game, Borregales missed an easy one. That changed the game in the second half. 2 quick stats before we move on from this game.
Take your time.
Josh Allen, 251 passing yards in the fourth quarter. 251 passing yards. And that is the 10th time that John Harbaugh has been the head coach of a team that has blown a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. That, oddly enough, is an NFL high.
Well, he's been there forever. Buffalo Chip, you get one phone call a year. Go ahead.
Happy New Year, Fred. I did see it, as you can imagine. I did see the game in real time, and it's never over till it's over. Josh Allen, our buddy, I know you love him now, looked awesome. And but it's only one game. The biggest thing is home field advantage. That's what happened last night.
It's a huge game.
Critical.
Last night was a huge win for Buffalo. Look, both those teams are making the playoffs, and that's a big win for Buffalo. Out of all the games this weekend, you could make a very compelling argument that was the most important win out of all of them, because those are the two best teams in the AFC, and so at least they should be. And they should be by a rather substantial margin. So, that's a huge win for Buffalo.
Why'd you tell them to take your time? Is that you're trying to put off getting to this next game that we're going to talk about?
I'm going to be aggravated because I already were by friends that didn't watch it. It's very aggravating to me when people don't watch the game and they start to analyze.
What's to analyze? The Jets had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. They didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know how to use him properly.
That's actually very fair, but go ahead.
He goes to the Steelers. Sure enough, Steelers, Jets, week 1. What do you think is going to happen? Well, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Rodgers rolling. He fires underneath. Wide open is Skoranek, and Ben Skoranek is in for the score. Rodgers to Skoranek, opening drive, touchdown. The Steelers did not have a single opening drive touchdown last year. Not one.
Fred, that Aaron Rodgers, he was slipping and sliding. He was like a cat. Pop, pop, bang. Pop, pop, bang.
I mean,
moving around in the pocket.
Good.
Don't let the
loose.
negative rushing yards fool you. He was running all over the place. And these receivers, tight windows that he was throw these touchdowns into.
He was going mobile, baby.
I thought Sauce was going to lock him down.
Sauce did lock DK Metcalf down. Sauce Gardner is, believe me, Sauce Gardner's back. Sauce Gardner was great.
DK Metcalf?
Rodgers. And that ball knocked around and ends up in the hands of Metcalf.
Okay.
That was wild. Oh, that was awesome. Off the ricochet.
Yeah, so there was a crossing route, and that's why Sauce Gardner was on the other. And Sauce Gardner knocks it out of the other receiver's hands. It knocks off another Jets player and into the arms of DK Metcalf on the final drive, which the Jets held. But go ahead.
No, you tell me what happened at the end of this game, because this was happening at the same time, and I was glued to the Patriots Raiders game. I couldn't take my eyes off of it, and I couldn't afford to miss anything.
You got 2 minutes for me to tell you about being a Jets fan?
I got all morning for you to tell me what it's like to be a Jets fan.
Jets kick returner, new guy, gets hurt first half. Xavier Worthy, who's been on the team, takes over, fumbles the kickoff. 14-point swing in 50 seconds of that game. That's the difference of the game. Kicker for the Jets, Nick Folk, misses an extra point.
Oh.
No problem. Illegal formation on Pittsburgh. Jets get to the 1. Missed the 2-point conversion. How much did they lose by?
2.
They missed a couple 2-point conversions. Oh, you want more of a Jets fan besides that ball bouncing around? You have the ending of the game, I take it?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Boot on the way. That kick is up, and that kick is good. The great Chris Boswell drills one from 60 yards out to give the Steelers the 34-32 lead. Are you kidding me?
And you want the last play, too?
No. Ramsey hit Wilson. Ramsey made a really good play, but it really didn't matter. That's kind of an overblown play. So here's what goes on. Steelers get that 14-point shift in 50 seconds. The Jets get the ball back in unbelievable, never-before-seen Jet fashion. They marched. Fields was incredible. Fields was incredible. And he marches down the field. He takes one in. They go for 2. They got to go for 2. They go for 2. They don't get it, of course. So Steelers, there's a horrible penalty on Quincy Williams, the 15-yard penalty for hitting a guy out of bounds. They move in, right? Now they're in field goal territory. The Jets sack Rodgers. They stop him. They stop him 3 plays. Not only do they stop him, they knock him back about 7 yards. They line up for a 60-yard field goal. Has the kick Boswell ever made a 60-yarder?
No.
Of course not.
No.
And what happens?
Oh, he
makes the 60-yard field goal.
Yeah, we just heard it.
Yeah.
They won the game.
And the Jets got the ball with a minute left. And look, they mismanaged timeouts and things. It doesn't really matter. It was going to be very difficult. It was a 4th down play, and Wilson got just nailed by Ramsey. It's a hard ball to hang on to. And even if he does, they only have one timeout and there's 20 seconds left in the game. They wouldn't have been in field goal range. So who knows? Now, for Aaron Rodgers, that's better than he looked in any game except the Patriots. First Patriots game.
That 24-3 Jet win over the Patriots.
Aaron Rodgers had 4 touchdown passes and he looked pretty good. I wouldn't get the Jets killed him. He can't move. The Jets, I think, had 6 sacks in that game.
4 sacks.
4 sacks, but how many quarterback hits?
Let's take a look. I see the 4 sacks.
Quarterback. They had 7 quarterback hits, so they hit him 11 times. They hit Rodgers 11 times. He can't move, but he didn't play that way for the Jets. The Jets shut DK Metcalf down. They played incredible offensively.
Defensive line got pressure. I'm looking. Quinton Williams and Will McDonald had 3 quarterback hits apiece.
Yeah.
So you're unhappy, Fred, but can't you be happy for, again, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? He's happy.
You spoke about the meeting with Aaron Glenn on McAfee a few months ago. Beating him, is there significance in that, since he basically told you to your face that he didn't think you were right for that team?
Yes, that's what he did.
So there's significance in beating him for you?
I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
He just hates your team, Fred.
I thought he would be a little sad about beating him. That's a pretty outrageous statement by Aaron Rodgers. Let's take that and run with it.
Bulletin board material.
The Jets are, look, if Fields plays, look, the Jets aren't winning a Super Bowl. If Fields plays 80% of that way this season, they'll win more games than the Patriots, which is what I thought would happen anyway. It sucks that they lost that game. They should have won. They had a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter, but this is what they do. A 60-yard field goal, what are you going to do? They held up at that point defensively. They looked great offensively. They scored on their first 3 possessions. Fields can run. He's a lot more enjoyable to watch than Aaron Rodgers, I can tell you that. But if he can play like that through the rest of the season, and that's a big if, they got themselves a quarterback. So I will say that. But it's amazing the mood that puts me in. And then I start thinking about my mortality and my son going away to college.
Yeah.
Because my son comes over at 1. He leaves after the game to go, be with his friends. And I think I only have this in another season. Like, if they suck this year.
He's a junior?
He's a junior.
Yeah,
he just started his junior year.
So you get 2 more years of this.
Yeah, I know, but if they don't win, like,
Well,
wouldn't
they're
it
not
be
going to.
if they made the playoffs one of these next 2 years, it would be very special.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started thinking Cats in the Cradle. It affects me in much more than I would like. You ever read that book, A Fan's Notes? It's a famous work of fiction about an alcoholic. It's basically about alcoholism, but it's a really famous book. It's like a guy who's a huge Giants fan, and it's about like how his life revolves around the games, and he goes to a bar and how like sad it is. It's not really about football, but minus the alcohol now, it's amazing how much that I care. I care so little about things outside of my children and this job. I care really about very, very little else. The Jets are third in my life. Third in my life. That's pathetic. It's pathetic how much it bothers me. It's absolutely something I need. You think I'm kidding or I'm joking around? I need to go to therapy. It's pathetic that I don't care about anything else that much outside of my children and this in the job.
That's probably most concerning.
That's yes, it's very concerning. I'm not joking around.
Fred, I'm not joking either, and I know we have to break here, but like, maybe this is why your stomach is upset today because you're so upset.
No. That's an excellent observation and hypothesis.
Yeah.
But no, it was hurting in the morning, yesterday morning.
Oh.
Maybe it was just nerves. I don't like, look, when the game starts, I'm not like going crazy. I'm just like, all right, yeah. And then the game gets going on, and I can't sit down. I am a real idiot.
They were right
there.
there.
A real fool. Cardinals, World Series. Nothing like this. Nothing like this.
Interesting.
The Bruins in 2000. Bruins 2011, I was super into it because we were so close to the team. But but not regular season games. Jesus Christ, this throws me for a loop. I don't like it. And then the Lions get down by 10. I'm out of the house.
Right,
I don't want to hang out with people. Like, you want to go watch the late games? No.
All right, that matchup in the NFC North we'll get to next, and a few other games.
All right, very good. Well, I'm sure a lot of you listeners were very happy Aaron Rodgers played that way and that the Jets lost.
He's great.
He was yesterday. He
Hall
was
of
plenty
Famer.
fine. Go watch those. Go watch those.
Misused.
Really threading the needle on those touchdowns. I'll tell you, as good as Arthur Smith. That's who I'll give credit to. No, Rodgers played way better than he ever played for the Jets, except for one game yesterday. So kudos to him. And look at maybe McAfee will let him roll for about 2 hours on how the pyramids were built by aliens. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the
And I have had many offers to become an insider. All right, so we continue going around the NFL on Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what game is next?
Detroit Lions, with their new offensive coordinator and new defensive coordinator, traveled to Green Bay to take on the Packers, and it did not go well for the Lions.
Here's the snap to Love, throws right side of the end zone. Touchdown, Jaden Reed, right corner of the end zone. They beat Terrion Arnold again, and a Lambeau leap to the north end zone stands for Jaden Reed.
They beat up on the Lions early and often and did not let up.
Here's the handoff. Jacobs cuts it back to the end zone. Touchdown!
Standing up.
Off the left side of the line, Jacobs cut it back to the right. It's 23-6, Green Bay.
23-6. Oh, that's right. Micah Parsons is there now, too. How was he?
2nd and 10. As Goff's being chased by Parsons. Look out. He's got him. His first sack as a Green Bay Packer.
You know, the scary thing was that was in garbage time, that sack. And Parsons, as good as he is, wasn't needed yesterday. That's how well Green Bay played.
It's funny that you wouldn't think, but the Lions losing Ragnow, their center, for the last, 8 years, really screwed their interior lineup. Like, the importance of the center setting up, the schematics and stuff, like being able to read defenses. They were missing all of that. They illustrated it during the game. I mean, they were, the defensive pressures up the middle, they were confusing, and it was confusing the Lions' interior defensive line, and that was the main story of the game. That was really the big story of the game. The Lions, dominated time of possession. The Packers' offense wasn't particularly great. It's just that the Lions could not run the ball, and they can't win if they can't run the ball. They couldn't have won last year if they didn't run the ball. They need to run the ball, and if they can't do it, then they're not going to win.
22 carries, 46 yards.
Yeah, I mean, they just couldn't. They couldn't penetrate. They couldn't penetrate the interior line of that Green Bay team, and it was stunts, and they were crossing people, and it was just confusing them, and that was that. That really was the game. As boring as it sounds, that was the game. The Lions' inability to run the ball, and that was, I believe, due to the inexperience as a unit of that interior offensive line.
Yeah, and I don't discount that, just the personnel issues up front, but I do wonder how much they're going to miss Ben Johnson moving forward. John Morton's in there now as the OC. They didn't have much to work with based on the offensive line issues, but you're looking for that one play. Maybe it's more of a Dan Campbell thing than it was a Ben Johnson thing, but that one just crazy thing that they're going to try and pull off. And if they tried, they weren't able to execute it, and it looked like, for the most part, they weren't even comfortable trying.
Yeah, there's no doubt they'll miss Ben Johnson, but I think that's something. He's a great offensive coordinator. I don't know if he'll be that. I don't think he'll be that great a head coach, but he's a great offensive coordinator, obviously. But if I'm a Lions fan, that's something that will improve as the season goes on. Like, that's just first game of the season. You're on the road in Green Bay. If you're the Lions, I know they beat them twice last year. That's a game that you can lose. I mean, you're going to lose a game. That's not like some thing that you're going to look back on and go, oh, God, oh, no. I mean, you might, if the Packers win the division, they win the division. But that's not losing, like to Cleveland, like Cincinnati almost screwed around.
It just looks so ineffective. Goff completed 31 passes. And what did he throw for? 220 yards?
Yeah, 225 yards.
Yeah, and the rushing numbers we already went over. But it wasn't like somebody was pulling them down. No, Montgomery carried the ball 11 times for 25 yards. Yeah,
Gibbs nine carries for 19 yards. They couldn't. I mean, they couldn't
2
run.
yards a carry.
2 yards a carry. 10 catches, 31 yards for Gibbs.
Yeah,
that's how bad it was in the passing game.
They could do nothing, just nothing short yardage. They couldn't do anything that wasn't downfield. Yeah. And what's funny is they had the ball for big chunks of time. So what are you going to do?
Well, it could be worse. Could be Miami.
Jan at the top of your screen. Tagovailoa looking for Tyreek Hill. Too high and picked off. Cameron Bynum.
Wow. Okay, that's it. guess we're done listening to that one. That was Miami in Indianapolis taking on the Colts yesterday. And listen to this.
Jones under center, ball on the right hash this time. And here's a quarterback sneak by Daniel Jones. He's in! Yes, sir! The quarterback finishes the deal. Another touchdown for the Colts following a defensive takeaway. 12:01 to go in the second quarter. And the Colts lead the Dolphins 16-0.
You think that's bad? How about Daniel Jones doing the exact same thing?
Jones, quarterback keeper again. This time he slides in. Touchdown on a quarterback keeper by Daniel Jones. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. 2 rushing scores today by Danny Dimes.
That made it 30-0.
I like how he has a nickname. He's been on the team for, at that point, like 2 quarters. He's already got a nickname. Danny Dimes. They couldn't just call him Daniel Jones for a minute. They had to make up a nickname right there on the spot.
I think there were Giants fans that were calling him that his rookie year.
Oh, okay. Well, he's still new to Indianapolis. I don't know why you have to call him Danny Dimes.
The cute thing was during the preseason, the national media was calling him Danny Nichols. Get it? Because he wasn't nearly as good. Danny Nichols.
Clever.
Yeah. So you got Miami on the road next week, Patriots.
Oh, man.
And that is a game that lame duck coach, and I love him. I love him. I love McDaniel.
Yeah.
But I love him. But lame duck coach, that team's in disarray. They were bereft of talent to begin with, and now everyone's hurt. Tua, unless it's like everything's going perfectly, and I know his statistics, and I know that he's blah, 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 better than these guys, but unless everything is running incredibly efficiently, and I know the record without him, but unless everything's running incredibly efficiently, he can be thrown off completely. Zachy Wilson.
I was just going to say, did you see who replaced him at the end of the game there?
Zachy Wilson got they let him toss it around a little bit. Well, you got to take Tua out in any kind of game. You're down by a couple of scores, or else he'll die. And I'm not even being sarcastic. It's just the right thing to do. You got to take Tua out of a game.
Right.
Can't let him take a hit for no reason.
McDaniel, even with that interception on the opening drive, he's not blaming his quarterback.
Definitely not all on him. There's just throws that I know he makes 9 times out of 10, and he didn't make them today. But that being said, there's too many people that failed at their execution of their jobs for him to even have any extra on his shoulders.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I think he's a good coach. It's just he's lost that team. They probably should have gotten rid of him in the offseason, but then it's probably not the best situation for a new coach either. So he's just going to have to play out this string, and then he's going to be gone.
This is bad. This is not good.
And then he'll probably be the Lions' offensive coordinator next year. I'm not kidding. I mean, I bet you that's what he'll always have a job as an offensive coordinator. That's never going away. He can do that till he's 80, like some of these dudes like in Philadelphia. These guys that are 750 years old, still coordinators.
Let's go to Cleveland, where the Bengals were visiting. Joe Burrow.
3rd down and goal inside the 1. Burrow wants to throw. His pass caught by a wide-open Noah Fant, who throws the ball high into the air in celebration as the Bengals score their 2nd touchdown.
14-10 at the half. Bengals just with the field goal in the 3rd quarter. That's all the scoring they would get in the game.
No, well, they didn't move the ball.
You want to know how many yards they had in the second half yesterday? 7.
Yes,
7 yards of offense in the second half.
Yeah, Burrow threw for 113 yards, and they ran for 46 yards. I mean, what's going on in Cincinnati? Chase didn't do anything. T. Higgins didn't do anything.
Cleveland had the football for 36 minutes yesterday.
Sounds like issues on the offensive line, too.
Burrow, pocket collapsing. Garrett again! Number 11 all-time of Joe Burrow. Back-to-back sacks.
Back-to-back in the 4th quarter sacks of Joe Burrow.
You need an edge rusher.
Well,
yeah, imagine that.
Still, the Bengals had a 17-16 lead late. Field goal try.
For the lead. And it is no good. He missed it wide to the right. A missed extra point, a missed field goal, and a missed opportunity for the Cleveland Browns.
Unbelievable how 60-yard field goal wins a game. Buffalo wins. It comes back with 15 points in 2 seconds. Big field goal. And then the NFL is so tight. I mean, that's a huge mismatch. And that comes down to kicking.
Cleveland had 22 first downs. Cincinnati had 11. Cleveland total yards outgained Cincinnati 327 to 141, and they lost. That's remarkable. That's really hard to do.
Well, it's just they're a bad team, but I don't know what the deal with Cincinnati is. There's a big problem with coaching there. I know he made a Super Bowl, but there's no excuse for that offense not to be effective. There's no excuse for Burrow not to be effective. I mean, he's got nothing but weapons.
You paid all of them.
Yeah, I mean, and you're stuck with all of them, so I don't really know what you're going to do. I don't know what they played him in the preseason. They played him, I think, in every game of the preseason. They tried everything differently, but they suck out of the gate, and I don't know if Cincinnati's going to be any good.
Joe Burrow in his last 11 games of the first 2 weeks of the season is 1-10. He's lost 10 of his last 11 games that have taken place in the first 2 weeks of the season, including that loss to the Patriots last year.
I can't imagine I can't imagine their offense was shut down like that in previous seasons. But I can check. Let me just real quick. They lost to the Patriots. Yeah, their offense was shut down in that game. Let's see the year before that. Let me do this exercise for my own. And they got in 2023. They got 3 points against Cleveland. So yeah, I guess their offense is shut down every week, every first week of the year. The only problem is Cleveland couldn't beat them. Unlike Cleveland didn't.
How do you lose
the Patriots.
that game? That's amazing.
Your kicker.
Incredible.
Your kicker. It's your kicker. All these games are super close, and it all comes down to your kicker. That's what it is. It's the difference between winning and losing. It really is.
I know it didn't cost him the game, but Harrison Butker missed an extra point on Friday night too, which I know they're not the layups that they used to be, but not expecting that out of him. Quickly here, let's go to Bo Nix in Denver.
Bo pumps once, throws the ball to the end zone. Carlin goes up, makes the catch. Touchdown, Denver.
They have creams for that.
22 yards on the strike.
They'll numb everything. You'll get over that.
What?
Pump once.
Check,
please.
Sean Payton after the game. I guess there were a lot of questions about Bo Nix, and
everyone was going crazy on him. They all thought he sucked.
Something got under his skin. What is this now?
Where did you see growth in his performance today?
Here's the thing, though, and I appreciate the question, but we're not going to have a growth meter each week, in year two. All right,
especially with the one pump situation. I mean, does it really matter?
Bring it all around. It all ties.
It does. Nix did not play well yesterday, so there you go.
I love the player.
Yeah, they won. They won because of Peyton and that defense. That
20
defense
to 12
is something
over the
else.
Titans. Yep.
That's a great Denver defense. All right, we'll be back. We have Bob Sosi, of course, joining us at 9 o'clock. Billy B got his first win at UNC, and then he went in to address the speculation that he doesn't like the Patriots very much. And we'll have that for you in just a moment.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots began their regular season with a loss, 20-13 to the Las Vegas Raiders in Foxborough yesterday. It's the Raiders' first ever win at Gillette Stadium. Geno Smith, 362 yards passing. Next up for the Patriots, a road game against Miami this Sunday. Dolphins are 0-1 after they got humiliated in Indianapolis, 33-8. The NFL is expected to rule on the possible discipline of Philadelphia's Jalen Carter today. He was ejected from the season opener Thursday after spitting on Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott. And the Red Sox scored 3 times in the ninth to snap a 4-4 tie and beat Arizona yesterday 7-4. They avoided 3-game sweep at the hands of the Diamondbacks. Garrett Crochet will pitch in Sacramento against the Athletics tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Mass Energy. Stay safe and warm this winter with your local home heating oil provider and learn more about bioheat fuel at massenergymarketers.org. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports. of Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
Oh boy, I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
This is that Bill Belichick triumphantly had his first win of his tenure in college football. He of the North Carolina Tar Heels as they went on the road to 0-1 Charlotte, and they took on a Charlotte team, and they managed to walk out of there with a 13 or 17-point win, and they had a touchdown on their first possession, and then I can only imagine from there it was just rolling. I mean, you're holding that Charlotte offense to a 3 points.
Charlotte had more first downs. Just I want to make sure that everyone knows that.
Yeah. Well, listen, they play.
Yardage was about even.
They play Richmond or something next week.
Richmond next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, but at least they get to return home. By the way, they're paying that quarterback $2 million a year to play quarterback for them, and is short and fat and not good. So that tells you all you need to know about the brain trust over there in Carolina. But there was this conversation, and including a very Wall Street 1980s type hang-up by Mike Lombardi when he just picks up the phone when anyone calls and then yells into it and hangs it up as like he's some kind of crazy badass. But, Bill Belichick was asked about, hey, why are you screwing your kids and not letting Patriots pro scouts, why are you not letting them look at your team? You played the fun game of giving all the pro scouts empty rosters after your week one huge historic blowout against TCU at home. But why do you keep doing that? And why did you allow the TCU players after the game to recreate the fish photo of you as the fisherman and your girlfriend as the mermaid, as they did in an end zone of your home stadium after the game in a picture that went viral? So just know this, Bill, as you go on the recruiting trail, there's no way he's coaching this team next year, but he will, in quotes, retire after the season. If you want a prediction,
sure,
I think that's a pretty safe one. But say he does some in-season recruiting, just know that kids are openly mocking your social life, that your personal life. Not a lot of coaches, I believe, right now, except for Sarkisian, who Alabama tried to get his alcoholism and use it against him. Not many people are doing that, but you've given them that kind of power. Well, Bill Belichick took to the podium, and he's all smiles because, after all, they just beat Charlotte by 17 points. Here is an ACC school with an NIL budget. Just beat the team from Charlotte, a university called Charlotte, which I don't imagine anyone knew existed. But he walked out of there with a 17-point win and his head held high. Here was his post-game press conference.
Shelby Swanson from News Observer. Coach, congrats on the first win.
Thank you.
I'm curious, and this is away from the game, but we haven't heard from you yet on this. Obviously, reports this week of you being the Patriots scouts being banned from practice. Just want to give you the opportunity to comment on that and provide some sort of explanation on that.
Yeah, well, no, it's clear that I'm not welcome there around their facility, and so they're not welcome in ours. Pretty simple.
Okay, they're not competing against you anymore. If you were a head coach in the NFL and the Patriots are competing against you, that's when you hold a private grudge, but a public grudge, from personally speaking, as soon as it's not my competition, then I lose a great deal of interest in the public crap. Like, you hold your own feelings, but like once it's gone, it's gone. He is such a flawed human being.
This
it's
is
absolutely unbelievable.
This is fourth grade. You don't like me? Oh, yeah? Well, I don't like you.
But the only team, it doesn't hurt the Patriots at all. This is without any kind of, fudging the facts or giving opinion. There's no one on North Carolina that the Patriots are going to be better off or worse off getting after this season. There's just not. It hurts him a lot because now you wouldn't let your kid play there. If my son played football, I wouldn't let him play there. No. Especially now, because anyone who plays in a Power 4 conference at least would believe on scholarship believes with the NIL getting paid $2 million or whatever, believes they have an opportunity to play professional football. Correct? Like, that's
Yes.
on the table,
Yes,
correct?
that is correct.
And if Bill Belichick, this has been over and it's obvious, but I mean, I did talk about this last week. His selling point is, I've had more success in the NFL than anyone else. I spotted Brady when no one wanted him, and I turned him into this player. We are they've called themselves, Lombardi, called themselves the 33rd NFL team. That the whole idea is that this is a factory. It's handled like an NFL team. And it's a factory to get players into the NFL. All this does, how are you going to recruit? How are you going to recruit against like Boston College or Maryland, like other teams like at your level? How? They're going to just completely. There's no way I'd go there. There's no way unless they paid me way, way, way more than anyone else. And good luck with that.
Seriously, Bill O'Brien can go into the same house Bill Belichick just went into and say, you know what? I've been an offensive coordinator in the league. I've been a head coach in the league. I'm friends with this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy.
Oh, yeah.
I have offensive linemen, just lined up around the block going to the NFL. I can get you there. There's no restrictions. And I'm not, walling off anybody. I can get you. I have friends at all 32 NFL teams. Belichick can't go in there and say half of that.
You're in a division with Miami. You're in a conference with Miami, Clemson. I mean, real power. I mean, SMU was a ranked team. I mean, even Georgia Tech. There's Cal's in that. Like, how the hell are you going to recruit against even ACC schools? How are you going to recruit against Duke?
Florida State.
Florida State. Like, why if I'm in state and I want to stay in state, I'm going to Duke. Now, North Carolina is a good school. Duke's a better school. There's ex-starting quarterback just won a game in the NFL.
I mean, hell, Louisville just had a good year and won a bowl game last year.
And Louisville is traditionally better than North Carolina. Like, North Carolina is a bad program or a very mediocre program.
But I still don't get the pettiness that Bill is sunk to here, and I think we talked about it last week. I did an early edition with Phil Perry and Giles last Friday night, and I asked them too. I'm like, what is it that the Patriots did that is so injurious to Bill Belichick? Well, it was the dynasty thing. He sat down for that too. He could have said anything he wanted, but instead he decided to zip his lip and do his standard not say anything. Oh, well, they cut a lot of stuff out of the editing. Okay, let's say he was really, really hurt by that. It's one TV show. What else? Oh, you didn't like it when and we didn't even talk about this on the air, but I was reading more about it. Well, what else doesn't Bill like? He didn't like that that Robert said he took a big risk by hiring Bill Belichick. Oh, shut up. Get over it. This is why you feel so slighted by the Patriots?
Or be pissed and tell kids on your team not to go to the Patriots if they're not drafted by them. If it's up against two pro teams and they want you as an undrafted free agent, don't sign with them. I don't understand. I get being pissed. I understand why he's mad. They fired him. Of course he's mad at him. People fire you. They're not your best friends. But I don't understand why you would do something that literally only hurts you. It doesn't hurt them in any way. It doesn't. They don't need to recruit anybody. Free agents, I guess. But I mean, what are you going to do? Like, Bill Belichick says that you suck, and he's over there, squat like at the bottom tier ACC team. I mean, he's so dumb. I mean, guys, he is so dumb. His big revenge is to hurt himself. Like, I'm going to cut myself, guys. No, Bill, no. Good, cut yourself. What do I care? How you hurting me? Badmouth me in the press. Say what an idiot I am. Give examples. Be as petty as you want. I don't understand why you just hurt yourself. That's an idiot. A fool. Really, it is. It's the definition of it. If he went off and was like, Jonathan Kraft does A, B, and C, and and it embarrasses Jonathan Kraft, great. But you're gonna go like, hey, guess what? I'm gonna F my recruiting, and that'll really show him.
Easy.
All right, we'll be right back.
Scored their first ever win at Gillette Stadium yesterday, 20-13 over the Patriots in the regular season opener for both teams. Geno Smith, 362 yards passing for the winners, and rookie Ashton Genty added a TD run. Drake May was 30 of 46 for 287 yards, a touchdown to Demario Douglas, and an interception in the loss.
The guys up front battled hard. I think they blocked him pretty well up front, I thought. And like I said, just get the first down, and from there, I think just make some better throws, be more accurate. And I think getting points out of that first drive would have been huge.
Harold Landry led the Patriots defense with 2.5 sacks. Their next game is on the road against Miami on Sunday. The Dolphins lost in Indianapolis yesterday 33-8. In the game of the week, Buffalo came back from down 15 points in the final 4 minutes. They beat Baltimore last night 41-40. Red Sox avoided being swept yesterday, carried a 7-4 win in Arizona. Sox got 3 in the ninth to snap a 4-4 tie. Pinch hitter Nick Sogard, a big 2-run double. Sox are a game and a half behind the Yankees for the top wild card and 3.5 games out of first place in the division. There are 18 games left. Garrett Crochet starts in Sacramento against the Athletics tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Green Home. If you've got mold or funky odors creeping around your home or office, don't mess around. Visit greenhomesolutions.com/Boston to book your free consultation today. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
New England plays here.
Ball down the right side. There's a separation. Yes. Touchdown pass. Yes. Perfect dive from Drake May.
98.5 The Sports Hub. What's the best way to listen to Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Back. Moves up. Throws it to the left. It's caught by Goody, who takes a hit and bounces right. Runs to the right hash mark at the 23. Okay. May drop back to throw. Time. Fires away. Goody comes back to make the catch. Drop at the 15.
Takes a beat. I'll take it, number 9.
Drake May stands in. Fires down the middle. And is caught by a wide open. Kayshawn Goody, his 4th catch of the day. Goody.
And he gets down on his knees. Drake throws it low. Gets a gainer.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us live on 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, and you can watch us after the show, too. And you can watch Joe, and you can get Alex Barth and a bunch of other things going on. Bob Socci, of course, you heard him yesterday. He is the voice of the New England Patriots on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Patriots radio networks. Bob Socci's hot takes are brought to you by Bigelow Tea. By now, you should know, Bob starts every game with his favorite Bigelow tea.
Oh, he loves it.
They're like, why even read it? I mean, you already know. No matter how hectic your day gets, be sure to grab a mug of Bigelow tea and tea proudly. All right, Bobby boy, hello.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Fred, Hardy, John.
Only the first one was necessary. The second two were superfluous. But thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
So you should only say good morning to you?
I get a big kick out of it when people do that.
Bob, thank you very much for acknowledging me. I appreciate it.
Because I'm the guy who brings the guests on, so I like it when they only say my name. I think it makes you two look less important.
Whatever it takes to get you through your day.
You feeling okay? You all right?
I'm in discomfort.
Still,
yeah. Yeah, you didn't ask me off the air. You're asking me now because you're hoping I'd say yes. Oh, I hope I die.
Found out again.
Oh, John. And then you'll go to my funeral and my kids will be there and you'll have to look them in the eye.
You think they'll be there?
My children?
Yeah.
They're the only two people I can guarantee that will be there.
He just said the second thing he cares about most in the world is his kids.
No, I didn't. I said they were the first thing I care
sorry.
the most about. And then I said my job, and then it's
the job was
unfortunately
second.
the Jets.
That's right.
Yeah. My kids, money, and the Jets. That's what it is.
Got it.
Yes. And it's sadly always been that way. All right. Very good. Bob, look, it's very exciting. The season has started, but the team is so boring. Were you at all disappointed? When does this change? Not the winning and losing so much, but a little bit of excitement. When, I ask you, when can we hope for this?
Well, I was expecting it yesterday, Fred, so I'm hoping for it this weekend in Miami. But one of our colleagues from the station who also works for one of the newspapers in town said the same thing to me yesterday in the tunnel after the game. I'll let him use the words on Friday afternoon when he appears on Felger and Maz himself. But yeah, especially the second half, interception and then a string of punts and penalties and self-inflicted wounds for the Patriots in that game. Very similar, of course, to what we've seen the last couple of years, and extremely disappointing. I think the one thing that I expected going into this game, having watched the team through the preseason training camp and the way the coaches coach them, was competent football and competitive football. And we didn't see a truly competent second half. And I don't mean that in the literal sense. I mean, as a team that went out there and looked like they were really functioning the way an NFL team is expected to, playing good football and not bad football. And as Mike Vrabel said yesterday in his post-game remarks, they couldn't take advantage of Seattle's bad football, and then they themselves played bad football.
Yeah, and to you, it's obvious it's a personnel issue, right? Did you have any issues? Because the issues I'm hearing with Vrabel are like that after the false start penalty on the left tackle Campbell, he punted it, and it's like, well, if that's your big problem with the coaching, I mean, that game, what were the chances they were winning the game at that point anyway? You know what I'm saying? So is it from your vantage point as someone who's around the team every day? Is Vrabel working with very little, and it's going to be hard to be innovative enough of a coach to really make this team beyond mediocre?
Well, it always comes down to players in the end. And, I do think that yesterday you look at some of the things right from the outset with Drake May, for example, and I've heard people talk about maybe putting too much on his plate in Josh McDaniels' new offense. But what I saw yesterday, to me, was maybe Drake antsy, jumpy. Some have used the word nervousness. I've heard in the post-game remarks. And
he's admitted to it, Bob. He says that. Yeah. I mean, and it's understandable that he's jittery at the beginning of games. And you're all right. I mean, if he was having trouble with Daniel's offense, there were a lot of open guys that he was just not getting the ball to. He was throwing to them. He just wasn't getting the ball to them. He was inaccurate yesterday. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Fred, and that's where I was going. That explains in part the inaccuracy, maybe leaving the pocket early, which I thought he did, and Zoe thought he did on the first drop back, and did subsequently in yesterday's game, maybe not sticking with his progressions. And then, of course, in the second half, there was a lot of pressure, and the Raiders really got to him, and with Crosby hitting him, unable to step into the throw, that forces the interception. And then I look at, some other areas of this team, and going back to that fourth down decision by Vrabel as well. You can question that. You can criticize that, especially in the aftermath. But as he did say at the podium, he expected a better punt from the punter. And also, you just made a mistake. The offense was not functioning well. It's a 4th and 10. So maybe you're pinning your hopes on the best chance at that point, which is for your defense, which was playing well at that point, to get a stop, have your punter pin the Raiders deep, and get the ball back in that situation with more time than what elapsed. But then, of course, Geno Smith throws that moon ball for the Raiders, and they hit on that play over Carlton Davis, a big money free agent for them. So to me, it really did come down yesterday more to the players themselves than to the coaching staff and any decisions that Vrabel made in game.
I guess it would have been silly to look for like any kind of big ascension from Drake May in the first game of this second season, but for the most part, Bob, he looked like the Drake May of last year. Did you see anything different in his play that leads you to believe that, he has, somehow made improvements in the offseason?
Yeah, Hardy, I think you go back to the 2 preseason games and, after he had played really good football in terms of not turning it over, even in the joint practices, for example, against Minnesota, which I thought would be a real test for him and would be telling for us. And he seemed to pass that test in terms of protecting the ball and making good decisions. Then he went out in the preseason game against the Vikings, and that first series, he should have been intercepted. He was high a couple of times, and then he took an unnecessary hit when he should have just unloaded the ball immediately, for example. In the previous game, of course, there was the turnover on the first series. So in those two cases, he had reverted a bit to what we saw at times last year. And yesterday, I thought as well there was a reversion to what we saw a lot of last year. It's only his 13th start, only his 14th game. And I'm not comparing him to Josh Allen, but I think one of the things that should have been understood more or explained more, that I should have thought about more when the Patriots drafted him, is that, like with Josh Allen, it's going to take time. Allen, I think back even to the 2021 season. I remember going to Buffalo, that win game, and coming out of that game, myself, people on the station, including, I think, one former football player that doesn't work there anymore, really felt that like Bill had the Bills where they wanted, Bill Belichick, in that last second red zone situation. He wanted the game in Josh Allen's hands. Now, who would say that today, especially after last night? So it took him a long time. He was wild and inaccurate, and there were times where he would just tuck it and run and try to bulldoze his way downfield and not read the defense and not read the field very well. It took more than a couple of years, and it took a lot of time even under Brian Daboll, I think, for him to become the quarterback that he is today. And I'm not saying that Drake May is going to get there, but it's going to take time.
He was under a lot of pressure, especially in the third quarter when the Raiders started blitzing him. Having said that, how do you think that rookie left side of the line held up throughout the balance of the day?
Well, they were doing great until I said so after Zoe said so, and then there was a penalty on Jared Wilson, and following that, of course, a couple on Will Campbell, and he had some issues as well. Bull rush got to him. There was another time where there was the strip sack as well that the Patriots recovered. I think in general they held up as well as I think one might expect against some of the stuff that the Raiders were doing, particularly in the second half. I think that the most disappointing part about the offensive line is that they didn't get any push in the run game. And the Patriots didn't generate only 60-plus yards in the running game. And they've got to be able to do that. The screen game was ineffective. And when I asked May about that in the post-game remarks, he talked about the importance of getting the run game established. And that not only helps the screen game, but it also helps the play-action game. And the Patriots have got to be able to run the ball. Maybe not to the extent that they did a couple of years ago when it was Matt Patricia calling plays and it was run screen. But that's got to be, I think, a big part of their offense going forward. And they just didn't establish the run yesterday. And the Raiders were ready for the screen game. They were ready for Travion Henderson. That was clear from the outset.
Yeah, I think that was probably the I don't know if it was a disappointment, but the biggest surprise that they weren't able to establish anything on the ground. So do you chalk it all up to the offensive line and them not being able to get the push or create the holes, or were the running backs a little lackluster too?
Yeah, Hardy, I can't say.
It's tough to tell based on that performance. I know.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's, to me, like last year, I think the Patriots averaged about a third of a yard before contact, which was the worst in the league. And I'm not sure it was much better yesterday. I didn't check the stats on that. But again, it just seemed like there were very few holes when they did run. And, they had, I think, one good run by Henderson early in the game. And beyond that, the communication part of it with and they're going to see more of it. The stunts, the end looping around to the inside. That's how Crosby got May on that interception. They're going to continue to see that, and they saw it in the preseason with Washington. And I heard Dante Scarnecchia say this past week to Phil Perry on his podcast that coaches take note of that in the NFL, and they're going to continue to do it until the Patriots prove they can pick it up. I think there were some cases of the interior of the offensive line. In the center position is one that I think is in question, Garrett Bradbury, and I didn't watch the tape. There was one point where I think Zoe said on the air that he got pushed back, and there wasn't a lot of push forward. So they've got to obviously get that offensive line in sync when it comes to communication on those stunts. Part of that's on the quarterback too, but they've got to generate some more movement in the run game, it seems.
Kayshon Boutte did really well yesterday in the season opener, but I wanted to ask your opinion about Stephon Diggs. It didn't look like he had his normal burst. It looked like the Patriots were babying him in the first half. I could have sworn he was in for first down plays and then they'd take him out. What did you see?
Yeah, John, it seemed like, that was the case. He was on the field and then he'd go off after that snap. And I think that's probably going to be the case for the next few weeks, just because of the fact that he didn't play a whole lot in preseason. And I say that meaning joint practices, team drills. I didn't play at all in the preseason games coming off the torn ACL. I think, the route running is good. I think the skills are still there. But anybody that thought Stephon Diggs was going to be a guy that would, be a real downfield threat, I don't think watched a lot of Stephon Diggs based on what I saw in training camp practices and what we did see of him in the joint practices, aside from the one-on-ones. I think short to intermediate is where he's going to do most of his work, and that's what we saw yesterday. I don't know that burst is there at his age, coming off that knee injury. Maybe we'll find out as he gets more game reps and gets more action. But, Kyle Williams is a guy that didn't play a lot yesterday. He had the one catch late. I think he had only a handful of snaps. He's the one guy that has that speed downfield. Booty just has a knack of getting open and making some plays. And he made critical catches too yesterday. Not only did he have a 100-yard game, but a lot of his catches were either for first downs or put them within a yard or within makeable range of a first down. But they don't right now, without Williams on the field, in my opinion, have that guy who really can beat defenses downfield.
You have a theory as to why Williams didn't play more?
Freddie, I think he was just behind in the rotation coming in. He'd been banged up. He took a headshot in the Minnesota game. And I think in training camp, he hadn't earned the right to be among those top guys in the rotation. I also think too, a big part of it with the Raiders is that you wanted the ball out, and that might explain too at times maybe some rushed throws. I think Drake was 9 for 9 on passes at or behind the line of scrimmage, and then threw a handful even no further than 5 yards downfield. With Crosby, a big focal point, I think, was getting the ball out of his hand quickly. If you're going to pass deep, you got to be able to protect longer. And that might have been a factor going into the game.
But he can extend plays, and he's got such a good arm, that I wonder if they're going to evolve a little bit and let him freelance, because that seems to be his strength, right? Like he doesn't – you didn't draft him because he's a precision passer. You drafted him because he can extend plays and he can get the ball downfield. So I just hope that – McDaniels, I know he has a way that he operates, but that he does allow him a little bit more of the improvisation that made him so compelling last year.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be improvisation to use those skills that you're referencing. They could be design plays, design rollouts.
Right.
Plays where you get him on the move. You move
right.
the pocket. We even saw Geno Smith a couple of times yesterday roll into basically a moving pocket, and it sometimes kind of circle back into the pocket that he left, and that little movement certainly seemed to help him and suited his strengths. And I think for Drake May, you can see some of that going forward. I thought we would see it yesterday. I think we're going to see it during the course of this season. So you're absolutely right. I mean, he has that ability to extend plays and perform those quote unquote off platform throws, but I think you can also really incorporate plays that allow him to get on the move. And also that, the other thing that does is that it might get him into that rhythm where he's not back in the pocket and overly antsy, that you give him a chance to get on the move a little bit and make a play and kind of, feed his natural abilities, but also do it in a more programmed way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not so much improvisational as that if you're not putting him in a box where he is forced to get rid of the ball right away. Because as you mentioned, Josh Allen, the big thing when you watch Allen is that, 90% of quarterbacks in the league are taking a sack or throwing the ball out of bounds or turning the ball over. And Allen's able to, avoid the rush and then find something as things break down defensively and make a big play out of it. So that's, part of what May is good at. All right, Bob Sosi, a great job yesterday. We always appreciate it. And on to Miami. And that team sucks. So that looks like that should be a win.
You speak the truth.
Yeah,
they were horrendous yesterday.
Yeah, I feel bad for their
That
coach.
should be a win.
Yeah. If they don't win that game, that
Buckle
would
up, Bob.
if I'm a Patriots fan, that pisses me off if they don't win that game. I thought there was no way they were winning yesterday. Sunday, that's a game they got to win. All right, Bob, thank you so much for the time.
Hey, can I ask you guys a quick trivia question? You know, you mentioned in the last segment about UNC and Charlotte. John Wallach, do you know the most famous athlete from Charlotte?
That's Cedric Maxwell.
There you go. All right.
I knew that. Why'd you ask John?
Well, because
he said good morning to all of us, so he's acknowledging everyone on the show.
Thank you, Bob.
That's why.
Oh, you wanted to give John an easy win.
I got John involved more.
I work with him. I work with Cedric Maxwell occasionally.
Yeah, I know. That's why it was why did he ask you? I guess he just wanted to make you feel good. It should make you feel worse that he asked you because he just wanted you to get something out of this whole thing and this whole exercise.
All right, now, Fred, I feel bad.
You know, there's a soft place in my heart for the the straight headline play-by-play guys next to the big stars in the booth. So
yeah, that's more like it. That's right.
Yeah.
Like just being some cog in someone else's machine. I get it. Yeah, just being kind of a lucky passenger. I get it. All right, very good, Bob. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks.
We appreciate it. There you go.
Despicable. You really are.
Why? What did I do? What you talking
Now what I do?
What you talking about? All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
Goodbye, everybody.
the email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, it is the email segment. You can get our emails at 985thesportshub.com. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Toucher and Hardy. You can follow Hardy at both those platforms at Hardy985, and you can follow me at Fred Toucher, where things are very slow growth. Very slow growth. I'm not in people's algorithms. It's. I gotta get an in-depth study.
You need to post, man. You need to post more.
Yeah, I got a lot to say at home. So
Jets reactions. That's the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
You just do an instant reaction of the Jets game every week. It's going to get you a lot of attention. It's going to get you in. That content will get you into people's feeds that enjoy the Jets, and that's going to expand your reach.
Do I
and
hashtag
grow your
Jets?
numbers.
Hashtag Jet, yeah.
Hashtag Fred's Jets takes.
Just throw things. Just throw a lot of things around the house that have Jets colors.
So you want a inauthentic reaction to something?
I was just thinking, did we pull? We're in the end of last season. We were pulling takes, and there was the guy who locks himself in a bedroom in his apartment and does his big Jets takes, and his roommate was kind of audio taping him, videotaping him through the door, and you're doing his big Jets.
I like when people are aware of the camera and they're giving you a very authentic reaction when they know they're being filmed.
Right.
That is something else. I could break it down in that. Our audience would love it, as they are all Patriot fans. But you might be right. I mentioned that I'm having a little pain in my lower stomach.
Has it graduated to pain because it was described as discomfort earlier?
It's becoming a little painful.
Oh, boy.
John is saying, Fred, I don't, though. That I would tell you what was going on, and I would say I've experienced this before, and then I would go about my business. I wouldn't be like John and hide it from you, and then act all incredulous when it was pointed out that I went to the bathroom during a break. Remember when John flipped out because I said that he went to poo?
No, it was diarrhea.
Oh yeah, you had diarrhea.
Diarrhea, and
I don't think John's out of line for not wanting his diarrhea discussed in a public forum.
Well, I didn't hear it or take audio of it. I just
you obsessed on it for a while.
Yeah, by his reaction. My obsession lasted about, I would say, under 5 seconds until he came back strong.
Or one could say 11 months, because that's
that's how long ago this.
Well, I'm reacting to his reaction.
It's
not the fact that he had diarrhea; it's that he was so completely overwhelmed by me saying something about it. I didn't even know he had diarrhea. He just told me he had diarrhea.
Actually, you asked how come I was going to the bathroom frequently, and I explained to you why that was.
I think this came out before the internet. John says, Fred, I care about your health. Well, thank you, John. That's more than I can say about these guys in the room. I'm not a doctor at all. However, the last time I had gastrointestinal issues, I found my intestines were diseased. Hasn't even been a year, and I lost 2 feet of intestine last October.
Thank you, John.
Out.
Plant that thought in his head.
Thank
Colonoscopies are important. I get colonoscopies because I had an intestinal disease when I was 15 that lowered my immunity to the point where I got mono and chickenpox directly after it. I missed about 4 months of school, which was really good for me. 15 going on 16. My driver's license photo was me covered in chickenpox, which was the last of the viruses that I had caught. The first was the growth of my intestine, which they didn't know what it was, so there was a lot of fun going up there that was without knocking me out or even telling me on some occasions that they were going to do it. It was the worst experience of my entire life. So now I was thinking about it today. I'm like, if they have to go anywhere near there, I'm like, dude, you got to knock me out. Like, and they'll go like, well, we'll give you an Ativan, and I'm like, I don't think you understand.
This is the same guy who was bragging about his pain tolerance earlier.
Okay, I am talking about trauma, and I don't want to go through that again.
Well, you have a very low trauma tolerance then.
Fair enough, but that is an emotional pain, not a physical pain. This is from Andrew, who emails frequently. We played the guys from Philadelphia, the very tough guys after in the post game of the Phillies game, where the woman demanded the ball back. She refused to dye her hair. She obviously is someone who goes to farmers markets and carries a tote bag. She's very angry. She gets mad that because she's briskly walking in the road because Lord knows that sidewalk has got far too many cracks in it. And I'm not talking about an 80-year-old woman. I'm talking about like a 50 to 60-year-old woman that just feels like the road is for me. And how dare you drive down it? I mean, this is this is for walking. Andrew says Kendra was on this weekend. So the guys from Philadelphia, we played the audio because they were saying like how the guy was kind of a pussy for giving her the ball. And the point that you guys agreed with that I made was that, like, what exactly is he supposed to do? This is a woman who's complaining about a baseball being in her general area. I think that she might not have a problem litigating the whole thing.
Yeah, she's in your face, daring you to do something, so she can get all over you.
Like, what do you like? Now we're hitting women. Like, I don't understand. Like, really, what they want them to do? Like, these are, and that just strikes me as someone who has never been in a real fight. Like, there are consequences to these things. Like, it's easy in your brain to create a scenario where nothing happens. But like real things happen, and if someone wants to, just by yelling at her, she could have gone to security, got his family kicked out of the game, and made life very, very hard for him, regardless of the booing in the stands or not. Sometimes these things drag on are not just lawsuits in general, and are generally unfair. Take it from someone who was sued in part because they said someone had back acne, and I can tell you that these are laborious processes that are probably not worth it. So Kendra was on this weekend with McCarthy, which I did hear. And I didn't hear this, though. She said that the dad was the biggest loser for giving the ball to the woman. Kendra feels he should have said, no, I am taking the ball from my kid because now I'm going to look like a beta for years. I love her, but what are we supposed to do there? Well, Kendra's a woman. She doesn't know that. I mean, yeah, if you're a woman, you don't have to give the ball back. If you're a guy, you got to give the ball back. I mean, if there's a lady looking like that coming after me, here,
take whatever you want.
Yeah, just take it. Just
get away from me.
Paying you go away. It's like a complaint prostitute. It's like you know how people say they bang prostitutes because not because of the sex, but because they leave after. That's like a paid. I guess we'll use the term Karen. A paid Karen. She was with a very tattooed man too, who seemingly like prison-y tattooed, like
spider webs on the elbows.
I'll have to close for investigation. Teardrops all over the face. So good for him.
Kendra was mentioned in another email. Why do people from 98.5 feel the need to tweet every play of every game all day Sunday? Yesterday is rough count. Joe Murray, 61. Lifshats, 60 plus. Not counting back and forth within tweet arguing. Kendra, 70 plus.
Here's the one thing I'll give Kendra credit for, and this is something that management should take heed of, is that she has more social media followers, if that's important to people now, than everyone but Zolak. So whatever she's doing, if that's the way that she's creating her, whatever, what do you call it? Like the market or her
brand?
Like, brand? Yeah, brand. That's how little I know about it. I would not question what she's doing. I mean, if she, and I would really request that management, if they are this into like digital stuff, go, perhaps this is of some advantage to you that Kendra has this kind of reach of this precious digital that you seem so concerned about. So with Dan Lifshats, I think we all know why he's doing that. It's an issue.
So bad for you, dude.
And Joe's got to be here because he's doing the post game. So I would imagine that he's just sitting here, you know, communicating with the audience kind of just because he's got to be in here with Dundero. So I would imagine that that's why he's, because they're both doing the post game. So I'd imagine that that's why he's tweeting away. So I'm giving two of them a break. And I'm giving Lifshats a break because it seems like that's more of a him thing.
Now, E2 butter.
I do credit him for being able to tweet that much and never get a wellness check sent home, which is something I cannot brag about. If I was on Twitter that much, there certainly would be an ambulance coming to my house.
You just have a lot of protein.
And taking me without my consent or not. I mean, I consented on leaving, but that to my understanding was not an option. I was going any which way but loose in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dan, I've mocked myself while talking about you. I think that's fair. Go ahead.
Sup, Hardy? Been a while. Is Wallach supporting the Phillies, Karen?
Yeah, he's got a dumb Phillies hat.
With your Phillies hat on
With his
today.
big bent brim.
Or come to think of it, he might be the male version of the Phillies Karen.
Oh, no.
No.
John's not Karen.
No.
John's a laid-back guy.
Yeah, I mean he'll give you the hi hat if you come up to him and want to talk to him.
Yeah,
He'll
wall-dicking.
you.
Yeah. But that's just from an ego standpoint. He's not a complainer. John is one of the least complaining individuals I've ever met in my entire life. He lets that wife of his just do whatever she wants. He don't complain about a thing.
I was wondering where you were going with that. Oh, that was so creative.
I was thinking out loud.
That was creative. That was good.
No, but it
was
is
a compliment twisted into.
No, it's a compliment. I'm defending you. It is a compliment.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, John never complains. No, he doesn't. John never complains. He doesn't. If he did, I mean, the way that everyone makes fun of each other, if he complained, it would be an issue. No, he doesn't complain. He never does.
Sorry.
And I never really get the impression that
bad.
John is actually angry with me. It's maybe happened a couple times. Now, he has been angry with Hardy one time. But I am for the whole, what was it, inferring thing?
No,
or
I said that Wallach was bad at deducing.
Yeah, that hurt his feelings for real. But like I, as far as I know with my relationship with John, which I feel is very strong, I can only think, we have a good relationship, is that I'm very confident saying that his wife hates me, but I don't blame her. Because usually guys I work with, wives hate me. I'd imagine Hardy's wife doesn't hate me because he gives me a lot of crap too. So I would think that would even things out, but maybe she does.
You would have to believe that my wife cares enough about what goes on in my life in order to.
Yeah. I'm just
anybody.
I'm saying just hate me, which is a strong emotion. But fat kid's wife, everyone's wife. I mean, how could the guy named Fat Kid's wife hate me? Now, they've long gone. They're divorced. I saw that happen in a mile away. Crashes, all his wives hated me.
All of them? All three of them?
Well, I didn't know the third one.
The most recent one.
No, I didn't know.
Wait, how many is it?
I don't know if the third one had the knowledge of the language.
She may have said she hated you, but no one could tell.
First two didn't
exactly.
like you. Okay.
No, but the first Lady Crash didn't like me, but I mean, as you know, John, his second wife hated me.
Oh, that's very true.
Because she blamed me for having the job.
That's right. She blamed you for coming up here and moving her out of Atlanta.
Like Crash had no job, and I wasn't the only one responsible. Rich was very into bringing him up as well, so I don't want to take total credit for that. But she did blame me for him being here, which was funny because he was unemployed. He got a job, and then she hated me for it. So it's like, okay.
I remember that. I remember the hatred there.
Does Nick's wife hate you?
I don't know. Probably a little bit. She probably, if she listens, complains about me. Yeah. Probably a little bit. I'd imagine. Because they listen to the show, and they're like, why are you letting him talk about you like that? Like, why do you let him, talk to you like that? Because, and then I understand. I get it. Because they're like, why? Like, you're so smart and great. Like, why do you let him talk to you? He's dumber than you. Like, I get it. Like, I understand what the conversations are. I don't have them with my significant others because I'm the dog, top dog. No, they all hated me
significant
too.
Others.
I'm depressed. I'm depressed. That was Freudian. I'm divorced, so obviously I've had my own issues at home. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Las Vegas Raiders scored 13 straight points in the second half and went on to beat the Patriots 20-13 at Gillette Stadium in the season opener for both squads. Drake made a touchdown pass to Demario Douglas, but also added an interception. Ashton Genty, the go-ahead touchdown run for the Raiders in the third quarter. Patriots are 0-1 to start the season. They visit the Miami Dolphins this coming Sunday. Dolphins also 0-1. They got blown out in Indianapolis yesterday, 33-8. The NFL is expected to rule on a possible discipline in Philadelphia's Jalen Carter today. He was ejected from the season opener on Thursday after spitting on Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott. Red Sox got 3 in the ninth to beat Arizona yesterday, 7-4 in Phoenix. They avoided 3-game sweep. They'll pitch Garrett Crochet in Sacramento tonight against the Athletics. And number 2, Carlos Alcaraz beat number 1, Jannik Sinner in 4 sets to win the U.S. Open tennis tournament. Sports Hub headlines are powered by Oakers Technologies. Winning starts with being prepared, and when it comes to technology, nobody prepares your company for the future better than Oakers. So get future ready with Oakers, proud partner of your New England Patriots. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 10 o'clock.
stack, man. Ready? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, I've just made my rounds explaining to everyone that I don't feel good, so I feel accomplished. Go ahead.
Did that make you feel better? Just talking about the discomfort?
I'm just looking for sympathy, that's all. All right, go ahead.
New report from data and or new data, I should say, from health officials show that
1,000%. I mean, you'd have to be. I don't know anyone who would get that wrong. I don't know the answer because I haven't read it, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's not crystal. I'd take a wild guess and I would say that it is.
Is it marijuana?
It is not marijuana. I would say I'd take a wild guess and say it wasn't any cheap street drug. I'm guessing that's good old pure cocaine.
Cocaine, Jack.
Oh, I used to be obsessed with this.
50. We're at times 50% higher than the national average in the island's wastewater. Covered from June 18th to July 28th. They're trying to monitor drug use on the island. And they say that...
and you need to test the water for that? Just look at the douchebags. They're all coke douchebags.
Take a walk through.
Yeah, like,
come on.
it's 1985 for these people, like every day. They're still living in the stock market 80s.
Meth, fentanyl, and something else called xylazine.
Well, in seriousness, the island off-season has a fentanyl issue, which is... something that happens in areas, unfortunately, where, especially in tourist areas where there's like money's hard to come by, like there are fentanyl crises, and that's a very, very serious issue. But yes, in the summer, I would imagine that it's a bunch of dumb cokeheads walking around.
So the xylazine, it's known as trank, I guess, in the street form usage, whatever. Meth, fentanyl, xylazine, all below the U.S. national average.
For sure.
But that also tells you that the cocaine quality must be very, very good. If the fentanyl levels are low, but the cocaine level is high, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, you have someone at your disposal who can take your private plane and get it where it's not so stepped on. I mean, they're not buying it from the guy who bought it from the guy who bought it from the guy who bought it from the guy. There's probably about at least, what do you think, 5 of the most expensive houses on Nantucket that have at least someone with one limb in the drug trade, I would imagine.
Even if it's just a side business,
No, I don't think it's like, someone's entire business, but I would imagine that, someone's side hustles cocaine, like importing of cocaine. Yeah, I don't think that's hard to believe at all.
Idyllic island setting, rampant with Lyme disease and cocaine use.
And it's just that it's like, if it was just like a bunch of drugs, you'd be like, whatever. But of course it's cocaine.
Yeah.
It's like cocaine, sniffing cocaine.
Right.
Not freebasing it, not shooting it. No. It's just sniffing cocaine, which is the most expensive, pain in the ass drug in the history of the world. But when money is no object and you're a huge douchebag, then you can just
that's
do
the
coke.
drug for you.
Yeah, you can just do coke and annoy everyone all night. So there you go. Yeah, I would have to imagine that's like that when they get like the big old rock, like the ivory rock that they're just scraping
looks
off
like
of.
a golf ball.
Yeah, they're just like scraping off that big old rock. It ain't coming into a bag. They're getting that rock, like Diddy style. I wonder how many Diddy situations are going on that island.
Oh.
I can only speculate, but I wouldn't be shocked by anything. All right, that'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day.